Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. The show is about to begin.
Presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon. Joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke Garofalo. Our friend Coop with us, a.k.a. Coop A. Fiasco. What's up, everyone? Good morning and welcome into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Coop and John Luke. What's up, boys?
What up?
What's goody, dude? That intro never fails to get me fired up, dude.
I know, right? Every single morning.
I wasn't fired
Coop,
up.
I saw the shock in your eyes when I said Coop and JL instead of JL and Coop. I mixed it up a little bit this morning.
I don't know, man. I think I might have to stick. I think I might have to say that.
Like the way that sounded.
It's just alphabetical order. It makes
I'm cool
sense.
with it. I don't care what order I'm in.
We got some people in the
I like the original order.
We got some people in the chat ready for our show this morning. Squirrel Bob says, good morning. Good morning, Squirrel Bob. Welcome in and get in the game. Tommy saying happy football morning, guys. Happy football indeed.
Happy football.
Man, we have one killer Monday night football game. I feel like we've just been trying to like the last two island games, like the Monday night football, Cowboys, Giants, and then Sunday night football. What was that? The Broncos game were not the most exciting of matchups on paper, right? But now we've got a Dolphins-Bengals matchup that hopefully should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it tonight. Before that, we've got some news going on throughout the league that we need to keep you guys up to date on. First, related to the game tonight, per Tom Pelissero, Tua Tagovailoa is listed as questionable with back and ankle issues, but is expected to play tonight against the Bengals, barring any setbacks today. But hopefully Tua is playing tonight, and it looks like he's going to. Jalen Waddle, who has been battling a groin injury, should be playing tonight as well. So Tua and Jalen both on the field. What are you guys expecting from Tua tonight? Do you think we see a continuation of the like borderline dominance we've seen from him through the beginning of this season?
I think the injury could absolutely affect him. We gotta see. I'm playing Tua regardless in my fantasy leagues. I can't bench him when he's on this heater.
Yeah. Can't go away from. We talked extensively yesterday about like how Baker Mayfield has the worst QBR in the league. Well, Tua is at the top of the list, number one, somehow ahead of Lamar Jackson. I don't think it factors in rushing. So Tua is a beast. Can't keep him out of your lineup.
The anti-Baker. The evil opposite of Baker. Or is Baker the anti-Tua?
I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah. Too early to tell, I'd say.
Maria in the chat says, hi, friends.
Too early.
What's up, Maria?
Good morning, Maria.
I'll bring it back once an hour. So this is 6:04. At 7:04, I'll ask. At 8:04, I'll ask until it's not too early.
Okay.
Now, there's another injury I wanted to mention that might be equally impactful and potentially could be the reason that the spread initially was -1. Now it's down to -3.5. So the Bengals, money's been coming in on them. The line's moving. Is that Teron Armstead? They are big, arguably the biggest acquisition this offseason, along with Tyreek Hill, the left tackle, also questionable. He did not practice all week long with a toe injury. So be interesting to see if he's going to actually play or not, too. I mean, the Bengals are also their offseason acquisition, Lel Collins, might not play either. Their offensive tackle, but I think our Armstead's a little more important.
Armstead, the most recent report from Pelissero also states that Armstead should be good to go.
All right, here we go, baby.
That is the report right now. But again, should be good to go is not 100% guaranteed we're going to be ready. So definitely keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it throughout the day. Some other injury updates. Dameon Pierce was limited with a hip injury yesterday at practice, but Davis Mills' thumb, for all of you who are plugging Davis Mills into your fantasy lineups, he's good to go. He's fine. He will be ready to go. With the hurricane coming in this weekend, Minneapolis has been chosen as a contingency site if the Kansas City Chiefs Tampa Bay Buccaneers game has to relocate because of Hurricane Ian, and this is via ESPN. So Draft, it's not coming to San Antonio. It's not going to Baltimore. It's moving up to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I wonder why Scott Fish came in yesterday asking that question now.
Yeah, it seems a little fishy, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little
He
fishy.
knew. He knew. He's
Sucker.
going. I wonder if he's going.
He's going.
Oh, he's already got tickets. He's already got like 12 tickets, and he's just gonna like go with empty seats and put little picture cutouts of us just to mock us, and make us feel bad that we're not there. Like it's gonna be us with frowning faces sitting in the seats next to him.
Well, good thing I've refused to frown one time on this show. So good luck finding the cutout, bro.
Been smiling the whole time.
I've never frowned in my entire life, Coop. I'll one up you.
Couldn't possibly.
JL, now how little do you frown?
0.
Wow, that's even better than never once. Just kidding. There's a photo of you that circulates Twitter semi-regularly with like the world's largest frown on.
Yeah,
like the number one frown. Yesterday, Matt Rule said that it's a quad injury for Christian McCaffrey. Didn't know about it until after the Saints games and would not speculate on his status for this week. Are you guys concerned about this for Christian McCaffrey?
Yes. I mean, if it's being self-reported by Christian McCaffrey, he's not practicing, I am. But if he's playing, I'm starting him. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, you got to start him. But this seems like what maybe some people were worried about some of these injuries. But also, Christian McCaffrey has come out multiple times this season saying, like, they're going to monitor everything. They're worried about me. Like, they're just going to be extra cautious with my health. So it could be some more of that. There was a stat change with possible fantasy implications. Did you guys see this? The butt punt has officially been changed by the NFL from a blocked punt for the Bills to a punt by Thomas Morstead for -1 yards. So it is no longer a blocked punt. It has been changed to a punt for -1 yard.
You know that punter was probably already pissed about the whole situation. Pat McAfee went on the Manning cast earlier this week. I don't know if you guys watched that as part of the segment, but Pat McAfee's talking about how this is 100% on Morstead. Like, he should not have been backing up. He should have been going forward. And I feel like this is just like adding insult onto injury, where now this guy's got a punt for -1. So anybody who's like born after this is going to be like, why the hell this guy punt for -1? What an idiot.
Well, I wonder if that is the shortest punt of all time. There could have been other similar mishaps, but I mean, that's going to smoke his numbers for this year too, right?
Yeah.
How do you maintain a high punting average when one of them is -1? Like,
do they take out outliers? I don't know.
Okay, so in the 1985 playoffs, Sean Landeta of the New York Giants had a punt that was -7 yards and was returned 5 yards for a touchdown.
Did he punt it like straight up in the air?
I'm guessing he punted it 7 yards backwards, and then they picked it up and ran it back for another 5 yards after that.
That's really funny.
Yikes.
He did like a bicycle kick.
Went a little too high.
Hey guys, check out what I can do. Been working on a new trick.
Oh shoot.
Well, the plan was he was actually going to kick it one more time. That was just him launching it up, and then he was going for the full in the air bike to launch it down the field.
Someone just lit him up before he could do it.
Apparently, you can kick it twice though. That was the rule that like blew my mind when that dude picked up the double punt.
Oh yeah, because you can pick up like a messed up punt.
You can pick
a messed up snap and stuff.
No, I think you can pick up a blocked punt and punt it again. I think that
I've never seen. That's crazy.
It happened last year. It was either last year or the year before, and I was like, "How is that possible?" Yeah, the double punt. It was very exciting.
Is it capped at 2? Or like if it's blocked again, can you just keep on doing it as long as it doesn't pass the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, the Seahawks did it last year. Last year, Dickinson did a double punt where it was blocked. If it didn't go past the line of scrimmage, he picked it up and kicked it again. Apparently, that's within the rules. It's just nobody's had the stones to go for it until Dickinson did. So, kind of a power move.
Like what's the word? Like the wherewithal? To get like blocked and then be like, all right, pick it up. Punt it again. It's like probably super stressful moment.
Oh yeah, he made an amazing, like it was blocked clean, and he scooped it like amazing scoop on the run and booted it. I wish we could play those, but I don't think we can. The NFL plays, but I mean, it was a awesome play. Awesome.
We should just start doing like Microsoft Paint animations of the plays that we're talking about?
Yes.
I'll get it painted up for tomorrow. Yeah.
Really bad stop motion by Keith.
What was that awful like software that was in children's computer labs? Like whenever we were growing up in your element, Kid Pix, and you could make little animations and stuff in Kid Pix where like you just slightly change the graphics. These will be Kid Pix NFL highlights.
That would be hilarious.
Keith, get on that. I need a double punt on my desk tomorrow.
Clear your day, Keith. You have work to do.
Jimmy Anderson in here saying, cheers, boys. Cheers, Jimmy. Welcome into this. You guys have the latest update on Tua. The latest update I have is from Tom Pelissero, and it says that he is listed as questionable with back and ankle issues, but is expected to play. So barring a setback, this is at 5:50 a.m. this morning.
Your time. Central time,
6:50 a.m. Eastern time, and probably like, I don't know, like 9:17 p.m. Australia time. Yeah, something around there. But he is expected to play tonight, so we should be good to go on that front. I'll be really sad if Tua doesn't play.
I will be too.
And is there anything worse than having a stat change steal a victory from you, though? Like where you think you've won all week, and then on Thursday morning you wake up, you go to check, and all of a sudden your 2-1 team is 1-2 because the Bills blocked punt didn't count for your DST anymore?
Probably breaking your femur is worse than that.
Dude, no, not worse than my coworker. He lost to his brother in the championship on a stat change where the stat change came through on Christmas morning when they were opening presents together.
Stop anything.
And Merry Christmas.
And then he broke his femur.
And he just had his first child.
And then he was shoveling the driveway and he broke his femur.
And his grandma died.
Yeah, no, it was like.
And then he found out his 9-year-old child actually wasn't his. It was swapped at the hospital whenever whenever the child was born.
It's actually next door neighbors.
It was actually his brother's.
Family wants their child back.
He had to give everything to his brother.
He had to give everything.
He was like, "Here's my son." Yeah. So that was the worst one I've heard of. Christmas morning, the stat change came through.
That's absolutely awful. That's brutal. Merry Christmas, dude. I see Better Boss in here. What's up, Matt? Welcome in this morning.
Good morning.
Joey saying good morning. Good morning, Joey.
Morning.
And our friend Craig is in here as well. Hi, Craig. Friends. And Tommy said this is a movie, Fantasy Scrooged.
Fantasy Scrooged.
He got Scrooged pretty hard there.
Also, our friend Joey is down there in Florida. Stay safe, Joey, during the hurricane. He said we have power. Thank God. Hopefully the power stays. Something happened to our roof. Not sure what yet, but big leak in our hallway. Well,
you're thinking about a leak joke?
Everybody,
now I have to pee.
You trying to think of a leak joke?
Everybody in the chat, smash that fun button to fix Joey's roof, please. We're gonna
smash that fun button.
We're gonna be sending all the fun buttons to Joey today.
Yeah, all the funds, all those little button clicks, they're going straight to Joey today.
Joe, before I even was trying to think of a leak joke, I was trying to think, should I try to think of a leak joke? You know what I mean? Like I was still processing, like, is this the spot where we even make a leak joke, or is this not the time?
Should I save it for later in the show?
Yeah, maybe the 8 a.m. hours when we start making leak jokes.
all I got is something Malik Willis. I don't know.
Oh, you went with the pun route. I was just gonna go a P route.
A P route.
But for real, Joey. Hopefully you and your family are all staying safe. Keep us updated throughout the day. Jimmy had a question for us. Said, so I dropped Stafford and picked up Tua in an 8-man standard league. Wondering if I should pick up another guy with Tua's injury concerns. What do you guys think?
8-man standard. I imagine this is 1 QB, just because it's nothing else is mentioned here. So unless it's super flex or 2 QB, I would not worry about picking up another quarterback. Just roll with Tua going forward. Once he has a bye week or if he gets injured, then you can pick up guys, stream them. But 1 QB league, you don't need to roster 2 QBs, and even more so in an 8-man league, it's even that much more apparent because there's that many more.
If Tua doesn't go, just move him to your bench, and then you have 2 days to figure out your quarterback situation. You know what I mean? It's not like Joe Burrow is available and you need to like go pick him up to start him tonight. You have till Saturday to start somebody if you are worried about the early game. Otherwise, you have till Sunday.
Absolutely. I have a surprising statistic for you guys that maybe maybe I didn't think this was true just from watching the games, but the numbers say otherwise. Daniel Jones has the highest accuracy rating in the NFL through 3 games with 8.4. This is a stat that's on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is via Fantasy Data NFL. So through 3 games, Daniel Jones has the highest accuracy rating in the NFL. Are you guys as surprised by that as I am? I don't know. Maybe he's been more accurate than I thought. Just he's looked like garbage out there, so I haven't thought he's been accurate. And his receivers, I guess, haven't been doing him any favors either.
I think the surprising thing that I've learned here is that you can be good in that stat and still be a terrible quarterback. That's what surprises me.
Damn.
I mean, I've not been impressed by Daniel Jones, not in the least bit. And that goes back 4 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know that he has a very accurate throw. That we were talking about Daniel Jones a bit yesterday, and my analysis of him was he has a lot of attributes, he has a lot of skills that make it seem like he's a great quarterback. But what I've never seen from Daniel Jones is him putting it all together. And so I feel like I'm not that surprised by this because we know that his deep ball accuracy is one of the best in leagues, in the league, not the leagues. So yeah, I'm not that surprised by it. I think it's just like he's not throwing enough, and he's also just getting sacked so much that it's kind of irrelevant.
Jill's like, wait. I got to make sure I'm not including the Canadian football.
Yeah, I don't want to get anybody confused.
There are some real good players in the CFL that Daniel Jones isn't better than. Like we're only comparing to the NFL.
Some of those Rough Riders, dude.
Rough Riders.
Rough Hog.
The Blue Bombers.
Hog. Do you guys expect Daniel Jones to be the quarterback of the New York Giants next season?
No.
Probably not.
They didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
They didn't. So are they going to pay him? Are they going to tag him and pay him?
He needs to earn that money. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, like why? I feel like it would be a really silly decision to not pick up his 5th-year option, get the same Daniel Jones that you've gotten from his entire career, and then decide to just pay him more, right?
Exactly. Like think about what Rashad Penny had to do at the end of last year to get paid less than he would have gotten with the 5th-year option. Like if he's going to play for them, it's going to be like some weird, super cheap one more try deal. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it'd be at that point if you're doing deals like that, it's time to just let it go. You know, so I
feel like typically you see that when like a team's like, all right, well, we don't have a high enough draft pick to get a quarterback, or we're not in a good position to get a quarterback, so let's just like have a stopgap quarterback.
If the Giants keep accidentally winning games, they might find themselves in that position, right? Like they've accidentally won 2 out of 3 games here. It really didn't look like it was on purpose. Whenever you watched how those games went, it really just looked like they're like, fine, okay, we'll win
against the Bears, dude. They're in the perfect position to accidentally win another one. Right?
And what'd you say, Coop?
They said they're playing the Bears this week, so they're in the perfect position to accidentally win.
Oh, yeah.
100%, yeah.
But the problem is the Bears have also been accidentally winning games, right? They're 2-1 as well. Like they are just stumbling their way. This is going to – I'm excited for this game now. I know that doesn't sound like a game to be excited for, but the Giants-Bears game sounds like a disaster.
I said on the lightning round last night, this game's going on the big TV, baby. A stoppable force versus a movable object. Just a bumbling. What's the over under? Like 35 points for this game? That's gonna be a spicy.
I think it's like 7. No, it's 39.5. So a little bit higher.
39.5. Garbage, dude. J Wall in the chat. Let's go, baby.
J
Wall. What up, J Wall? J Wall's got his sody pop bright and early from the sody shop. I just know it, running around drinking his sody pop. They're huge in Salt Lake City. Sody pop shops. Look them up. Also, we got Ryan in the chat down here saying he's on his way to a 3-day work conference, and we are his morning entertainment. Well,
welcome in.
JL, could you entertain Ryan for a moment,
please?
Pretty
How's
good.
That, Ryan?
That was pretty entertaining.
Ryan, thoughts on that?
Yeah, let us know what you think, Ryan.
Call in. Let us know what you think. And anybody else, if you want to call in,
Ryan just,
we're going to have jail spit in your face.
Ryan just yanked the wheel. He's like in a ditch somewhere. Just make it stop.
No. We have some more news. This is a big one. New York Jets quarterback Zach Wilson medically cleared, will start against the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend, October 2nd. Zach Wilson.
October 2nd.
It's sad. It's sad to see Joe Flacco, the Bronx Bomber. His reign of Hail Marys is over. Slinging 50 times a game. Sad to see him go. He also had I was looking at that QBR list. He had even though he threw 150 plus times, he had the 4th lowest QBR. So he was just, eyes shut, chucking him. Love it.
The hash
Jameis
slinging,
method.
The hash slinging slasher.
Hash slinging slasher.
Love that, dude.
The flash flinging, the dash dinging, the slash slinging dasher.
The door stinging.
What's this mean for these receiving options? I mean, Corey Davis and Zach Wilson have had a bit of a connection in the past. Is there any reason to believe that Corey Davis is the dude? Whenever Zach Wilson comes back?
There's reason to believe that. I mean, we're switching to another quarterback. This offense, I think, is going to look a little different. I don't know that Corey is going to be the number one guy there. When he did have that rapport with Zach Wilson, it wasn't, Garrett Wilson wasn't there. Right. So I think it's going to look a little different likely. But I do think Corey Davis is probably going to be more annoying to fantasy managers than they'd like. I think he will have, decent weeks that he pops off and he's the one and everyone's disappointed.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, even if it was still Joe Flacco, there's no way they could keep up this pace of, running 80 plays a game and throwing 50 plus times. So people were going to be disappointed for fantasy, even if they didn't change the quarterback. And with Zach Wilson, I think he's more of a game manager anyway. So we're going to be double disappointed. Can't wait.
So we're going to be double disappointed. Can't wait.
We'll be disappointed like a Christmas morning stat change.
That is big disappointment.
Ryan in here said, just stick to talking junk about G-Man Jay. Yeah, no problem. We'll have some really nice things to say about Jay, and preferably if he's not in here listening. We want to talk about him behind his back. It means more because it's a little bit more mean, right?
Yeah. Talk about him during the break.
We had one more question. In here from Craig. He said, y'all are approaching the time frame to make decisions on Simon's 5th-year option. Any hints on if that will be picked up?
No hints at all.
Yeah, we've been deliberating with Keith, but then we fired Keith, so we lost a lot of notes. We lost a lot of deliberation.
We were making him do all the minutes. So.
Right. So we actually don't have any notes on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some notes. Honestly, most of them in favor of firing me, but you might be able to find some nuggets in there. The problem is I know my weaknesses best, so I really just hammer those down in my diary. Oh no. I don't have a diary.
We were reading your diary for sure.
Oh, all the time.
We had Ernie
was part of the deliberation.
Ernie was reading it. We were all taking notes. Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, dude. There's a lot of Pokemon card talk, oddly. But anyway.
I thought that WordPress blog was private and no one knew the URL. Guys, we are going to be playing some games coming up today. A little bit of poll perception and a little bit of fantasy detectives. We're talking Thursday night football, and our friend Andy Behrens from Yahoo Fantasy is joining the show later today. This is the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Better Sports Network.
I gotta tell this story, okay? So we're out in Canton, Ohio, and we decide to go eat late at night, like after midnight. We decide to go to the Waffle House. Somehow, Fenstey's never been there, even though he lives near it. I'm in New York, New Jersey. There's no Waffle House close by. So if you go to the Waffle House, what are you gonna eat more than likely? Pancakes, waffles, eggs, and all that, right? So of course, our guy Rich, he gets breakfast. I get breakfast. Fenstey doesn't. He's never been to a Waffle House. How do you not have waffles? Like, it makes no sense.
Dude, there's a time for waffles.
I eat breakfast at midnight. Come on, man.
That's the thing. I didn't want breakfast, man. I got like, what was it, like a cheesesteak sandwich or something like that?
That's like someone who has never been to IHOP going there and ordering a burger. Who does that?
That I wouldn't do. That I would not. Well,
That's the equivalent of what you did. Well, I don't even know what you had.
I got this steak sandwich, which was
steak
excellent,
sandwich at the Waffle House. Never been there, and that's what you get. You're an odd guy, man. You're
I'm not an odd guy.
Yes, you are. Can we get a vote? Can we get a vote in the chat, please? I mean, if you've never been to Waffle House and you get a steak wrap, something's wrong with you, right? Don't you have to get waffles and eggs and bacon and all that? It's the Waffle House.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It was my first time, okay? Ordering the hash browns was already complicated enough. Smothered and covered, and it's almost like it's crazy how much combinations you can have. And I know that everybody's killing me for it right now. And no, to our producers, I don't get pasta at a steakhouse or anything like that. No,
Alfredo, that's what he gets at the steakhouse.
Do you follow me on Instagram? I'm always on that grill. You know how much I love steak. Why would I go to a steakhouse and get pasta?
Because you go to Waffle House to get steak wraps. That's why.
I didn't know it was all waffles, bro. I thought it had like a little bit of everything. That's why. You know, I didn't realize they were famous for waffles. Hey, look. You know,
the name of the place is the Waffle House. What else would they be famous for?
You know what? That's fine. I guess it's a hot take getting a steak sandwich. As long as it was good, I housed that thing in 10 seconds.
Okay, you were never there, and that's the first time. You're not going to try a waffle? Do you admit it was a mistake?
I don't really like waffle.
Call, chat, enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Better Sports Network.
Welcome back in, everyone, to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. I see J-Wall in the chat saying, I've written some spicy FYF fan fiction. Well, J-Wall, if you send it to us, we will live read the spicy fan fiction on air for everyone to hear.
Yes,
it's going to get hot.
will.
I got from the mind of J-Wall, that fan fiction is going to get hot.
I mean, J-Wall did ask me to marry him once, and I did say yes. So I want to make sure that that's canon. If you're going to be reading this fanfic, I think that was on your 3 o'clock show during Poll Perception.
That checks out. Yeah, I'm very interested to see the Coop origin story.
The origin story? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that was the OR word that you, I wasn't sure what word you said right there, and we are talking spicy fan fiction. That was maybe the Coop orgy story was the
Coop orgy. I can't wait to read this.
So wait, so you've read it.
Coop's like it's the same story.
Yeah, that's the same story.
Oh, okay. We had some news, guys. One more piece that I wanted to make sure we shared. It looks like the Saints are preparing in case they have to make a change at quarterback. Jameis Winston was not at practice today, and Andy Dalton took first-team reps at quarterback, with Taysom Hill receiving reps as a reserve QB. This is different than past weeks whenever we're talking about Andy Dalton actually taking those first-team reps.
I added Andy Dalton 2 weeks ago in the Scott Fish Bowl. You guys know how dicey quarterbacks get in that league. Like, it's impossible to find them. Trey Lance got hurt, and I heard Jameis Winston say out of his own mouth that he had a spine injury. He was like, broken bones in his back, affecting his spine potentially. I was like, yeah, click Andy Dalton, throw him on the bench. So I don't know. Let me ask you guys, if he's out this week, do I start Andy Dalton or do I start Jacoby Brissett? That's where it's at. Yeah,
Brissett.
So. Brissett's kind of been nice.
Yeah, bro. He's been playing lights out, or at least like lights dimmed.
Yeah, but then I don't get to do the cute move, right? I don't get to do the
old swapperoo.
Yeah. The old
Thursday swapperoo.
Tinker move. Yeah. All right. I'll stick with Jacoby, my boy.
Man, yeah, that's a tough one, but I think I'm going Jacoby. And maybe, yesterday you said I had to decide on a quarterback that I hate.
Yeah.
Freaking Andy Dalton makes me so mad.
How dare you? How dare you? The chat loves Andy Dalton. Look, Meat Mansion, Dalton, Tommy, Red Rifle. I don't know, man. I might have to bench. Maybe I'll actually, you know what I'll do? I'll start Jacoby and I'll also start Dalton and I'll bench my other quarterback.
Justin Herbert.
I have it's Lamar Jackson.
Beat me to it. I was trying to think of a time quarterback. I was going the same joke.
It is Lamar. It's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're going to start Andy Dalton, and I just even forgot who else we were talking about. Jacoby Brissett over Lamar Jackson. Perfect. That's fantasy
Tommy
football,
said the
baby.
red riffle.
There he is, the riffle.
The
dude.
red
The
riffle.
red riffle.
Red riffle. Favorite chips, dude.
We had a question from Bronson in here before we get into our next game. You trade Josh Allen and Pitts for Lamar, Michael Thomas, and Michael Gallup. So Lamar Jackson, Michael Thomas, and Michael Gallup in return for Josh Allen and Pitts.
What are your contingency plans at tight end, young fella? Like these trades are very difficult because in a vacuum makes some sense. I mean, I think I would stick with Josh Allen and Pitts just without knowing otherwise. But if you have another tight end that's awesome, then maybe you do that move because Lamar Jackson has been unstoppable.
Do that move. I agree, Coop. Yeah, you can.
Lamar and Josh Allen are a wash for me in this. They're close enough that it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a lateral move. So it comes down to Pitts for Michael Thomas and Gallup. Personally, I would rather keep Pitts, but Coop's right. This is going to depend on your team. If you have tight end depth and you need wide receiver depth, then I understand making this trade.
If that quarterback was Joe Burrow, not Josh Allen, know what I mean? Like maybe that next tier. Like still one of the great ones, but this was truly an upgrade at quarterback. I'd be down for this move. Like to get Lamar or to get a Josh Allen is helpful, and the other pieces are startable. Like you can start both of those guys, I feel like. But since this is so lateral, I'm like I can't justify it. I'm
not trading for Michael Gallup either. That's the other aspect of this that I think makes me feel not great is that he's not the type of player that I'm gonna go trade for now because he's going to provide value for those who drafted him or get him off the waiver wire, but there's way too much risk to trade for him because if something happens or the injury persists, it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt real bad.
We
had another question in here from Tyler. He said, Dynasty, Josh Jacobs and DJ Moore for Alvin Kamara?
No, keep Jacobs and Moore. Jacobs and Moore are surprisingly young. They both entered the league crazy young. I think Jacobs is 24 and DJ Moore is still 25. DJ Moore hasn't even hit the age apex yet for wide receivers yet. And he's going to, at some point, have a decent quarterback. You know what I mean? So stick with what you have. Alvin Kamara is already at that age where things get pretty dicey. He's probably going to start next year with some sort of suspension, right? So I don't know. I'm sticking with Jacobs and Moore, especially now that Jacobs kind of has a full-time role. That was always the problem with Jacobs, and that's kind of gone. So stick with what you got. You got the better players.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, just thinking about this in Dynasty, Alvin Kamara, the paths to him actually appreciating from this point in his career are very slim, right? Like he has to essentially go down a Derrick Henry-like path in order to appreciate in value. So you're making this trade would just be exchanging some of your assets that are going to appreciate, like DJ Moore and even potentially Josh Jacobs, who has more likelihood to appreciate than Alvin Kamara, who's towards the end of his career and dealing with a bunch of stuff that might make that production that you usually get out of veteran players not as enticing, like Coop said.
Well, and I heard that they were working out a new quarterback in Carolina anyways, Schmayfield. He's got a mustache. He's got his mustache, and he's real smooth.
A mustache.
If only they had a red rifle over there, dude.
A red riffle.
The red
riffle.
The red riff. What is a riffle, Jim?
I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to say though.
I was immediately associating it with chips. That's why I was like, that's my favorite chip.
I know you said that. It made me laugh because I did not think of chips at all.
Rod Ruffles.
Rod Ruffles.
Is that the new mascot for Ruffles Chips? Rod Ruffles? Is he made of potato chips or he just really loves them? Is it more of like a Cookie Crisp situation?
I was picturing Andy Dalton, except for his mustache and his hair were replaced with chips.
Ruffles potato chips.
Yeah, but they would have to be barbecue because he has red hair.
They would. I'm trying to, or you know what? I feel like ketchup flavored chips would fit his personality more than barbecue flavored chips.
He is kind of the ketchup flavored chip of quarterbacks.
That's disgusting.
Or he's just like a regular chip kind of dipped in ketchup. That's what he is.
JL said, let me make my edits to my fanfic and then another show. We can do a full live version that should take a minimum of about 3 hours. Yeah, sounds good. That's about as much time as we have here, JWall. So we can just skip all breaks and read Front Yard Fantasy spicy fan fiction.
feel
It'll
like
be absolutely gorgeous.
as crazy as it would be, I think everyone would actually really enjoy that.
Guys, we're going to get into our first game of the day, poll perception. This is the game that tests your understanding and knowledge of the fantasy football landscape, what people are thinking. I am going to ask one of you a poll, and then your job is going to be to tell me what percentage of people chose side A in that poll, the first side. Your opponent will have to guess whether the actual answer is over or under the number that you said. JL, if you're the one guessing the number, the closer you are, the more points you're going to get. A max of 10 if you get it exactly right. 1 if you're 15 away, 0 outside of that. Coop, you'll get 2 points for correctly picking the over-under. We're going to alternate who's guessing. We got 4 polls. Whoever has the most after 4 polls, 2 polls each, will be our champion. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
JL,
You
don't get to pick it all, but Coop, I just wanted to talk to JL first. Would you like to go first or second?
Thank you for thank you for smushing JL's face out of the way verbally there. That was nice of you. I think I would like to go first.
Well, that's too bad, JL. You're going first. Coop, you are second.
Classic rug pull. Classic Christmas point correction right there.
It's Christmas morning, baby.
Christmas
JL, are you
morning,
ready for your first poll?
Yep.
Here is your poll. Is there a worse player in the NFL than Kenny Golladay? Option A, yes. Option B, no. What percentage of people said yes? This is from Roundup NFL.
What a dumbass poll.
I think it's a great poll, dude.
What a dumbass poll. Of course, there's a player worse than Kenny Golladay in the NFL. There's like a bunch of players in the NFL who never probably see the field. Are you kidding me? What a dumb question. But you know that a bunch of people are probably going to pick yes because they're just mad. I'll go with 42%.
42% from JL. Coop, do you think the actual percentage of people that that answer this question yes, is there a worse player in the NFL than Kenny Golladay, was 24%? Oh my God, I just said the answer out loud.
Yes. Under. Is what I said. I was going under anyway, dude. 100%. It's just like, you got to know, anytime Twitter can pick the funny answer in a poll, they smash it.
That's never happened.
No, in the years that we have been playing poll perception on air, never once have we had an accidental answer reveal. I see Tommy in the chat.
I've just covered it up really well, but I absolutely have in the past.
Tommy in the chat with the 24%. Nailed it, Tommy.
Great guess, Tommy.
Absolutely
wow, Tommy's so smart.
Whew. Okay, so JL, you were 18 percentage points away with your guess. So unfortunately, you're not going to get any points. And Coop, since I stole the opportunity to guess from you,
I said under. I said it with my eyes, dude. Replay the tape. I was like,
literally listen to the words I'm saying. I'm giving you the point.
Yes.
There's not a fight here, Coop. I was saying I stole the opportunity. Regardless of what you were going to say, you're going to get the points over here. So, Coop, you have 2 points after that one. 24% of people, like I said previously, did say yes here. That, yes, there is a worse player than Kenny Golladay in the NFL. JL, you were moving the right direction, but you didn't quite push far enough on how hard people were going to meme this poll.
Damn it.
Not enough tricksters in your guess there.
You got to think about how mean Twitter is sometimes, dude. Like they're not nice.
They are not nice. You're right. You're right. I forget that.
Yeah, got to remember that.
Coop, are you
just try and tweet anything, and they'll remind you.
Anything about a player.
Just say anything. Just speak up.
Say anything, and they'll remind you that they're.
If you really want a reminder, like go to that team's Twitter account and comment something negative about one of their players under a tweet that they put out, and then see how nice Twitter is. Coop, are you ready for your first poll?
Very much so. I was ready when I said I wanted to go first.
Okay, here we go. Who's the best wide receiver 2 in football? Side A, T. Higgins. Side B, Jalen Waddle. Side C, Chris Godwin. Or side D, Devonta Smith. What percentage of people said T. Higgins in this poll? Your options again were T. Higgins, Waddle, Godwin, and Smith.
The best wide receiver 2. So I think T. Higgins is the answer. I'll do the old JL mentally split it into fourths. Higgins, Wow. Oh, wait. Because Waddle. So I think it's got to be under 25%. I want to say. Oh no! Wait a second. That's not how that works. I think the two that are going to be above 25% are going to be Higgins and Waddle. So for Higgins, I'm going to go 28%.
28% on the Higgins side from Coop. JL, do you think the actual percentage is over or under Coop's guess of 28%?
Can you read the poll one more time?
Yeah, of course. Who's the best wide receiver 2 in football? Side A, T. Higgins. Side B, Jalen Waddle. Side C, Chris Godwin. Side D, Devonta Smith. So Higgins, Waddle, Godwin, and Smith.
All good players.
Wide receiver 2?
Like on their team is what this question is asking.
I know. I wouldn't have considered Godwin the wide receiver 2 on his team.
Oh, he is.
That's fair. And Coop went with what number? 20 what?
28.
Pretty smart guess.
It's a pretty smart guess, actually. It's a really annoying guess. Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith, I think, has probably got the lowest in this group.
I think so, but he had such a good week this week that recency
it might have swung it. Yeah, you're right.
Juice it up.
Oh, God. Can I Queen B?
Yeah, you can Queen B if you want.
I'm going to Queen B. Let's go. Let's ride.
For those of you who do not know, I did not say it. Queen B means he thinks that Coop is exactly right. If he is correct, he will also get 10 points. We had some guesses in the chat. Tommy with 18%, Squirrel Bob with 13%, Meat Mansion with 35%. Then we had Aiden with 37%, Tim with 29%, and Ryan Crawford with 47%.
I hope Tim got it exactly right because that means JL got no points. I feel like Queen B should get you a little bit more than the person who guessed it.
Yeah, well, I feel like
discussed that.
I feel like I don't think so.
So take that, Coop.
Take that, Coop. Imagine being the person who guessed it exactly right, and it's a net negative round for you.
But
you know what I mean? Like
that's true, but to call the Queen B, you have to have such a strong constitution, right? Like, did you see?
True, but your stakes are lower, right? You're only going to lose 2 points versus the other person's got to might lose 5 points or 10 points.
That's true. All right. You guys have been playing Poll Perception a lot longer than me. I have played quite a few times against my will. Against my will.
Poll Perception streets kind of know the way things go. Been around here for a while. All you people want to come in with your rule changes. I'm a Poll Perception traditionalist.
Pure.
Especially since the first 5 times I was on Poll Perception, I didn't take time to learn the rules at all. So, and then now I'm like,
what do you need from me?
Rules.
You need a number? All right, 34.
Well, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose T. Higgins in this poll was 17%. 17%. Coop, you were 11 percentage points away, which means you are going to get 1 point for being within 15, bringing you to 3. JL, your Queen B was worth nothing, so you've got 0 points. Coop has a 3-point lead after that first round.
Tommy guessed 18, dude. And and Hal guessed 19. Look at you, little smarty pantsers.
Tommy, you is smart. You nailed it right there.
You is smart. Who won the poll?
The person who won the poll was Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle had about 57% of the vote on this one. Chris Godwin in second at 19%, followed by T. Higgins right after at 17%. Then Devonta Smith at the bottom was 7%.
57%. Who asked this question? Dolphins super mega fan at Tua is a stud.
It was actually at
how'd you know
Jalen Waddle is who asked this question. I'm just kidding. It was from
Jalen Waddle asked that question. It was only 57%. That would be hilarious.
Just get wrecked on your own poll.
His own followers.
It was from Cryptic NFL in that one. You know what? I see some little some chatter in the chat over here. Keith says he has a punishment for me and that I need to throw to video. So Keith, go ahead and roll that punishment for me messing up the rules over here.
You done yet?
Oh,
it's 2 a.m.
Why are you
still
would
scrolling through
that?
videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something.
Dude, why am I being punished? Why am I being punished for this thumb video?
Yeah, it was for all the chat. You just punished the entire audience too.
How did you catch me off guard with that? Like I was
I did not expect him to do that.
Him to have some embarrassing video of me somehow that like JL has sent to him or something, or he reached out to my girlfriend and found a funny video. But
so that's the rule now. If we all get, if it's like military, one person messes up, we all get punished.
You're all looking at that thumb slit.
Don't say thumb slit.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
that should now be that, along with slandering Evan Ingram, should get you banned from the chat. Tommy, get him out. Thumb slit. No.
Tommy said Simon needs to change his name to Thumb Slit. And that's is that my wrestling name or my stripper name? Which one is it? Because it could be either, right? It's both. It's multi-purpose.
Make it your username on like everything.
At Thumb Slit on Twitter. You can find the best fantasy analysis at Thumb Slit. Just Google it up. I see my cousin JMO in the chat. What's up, JMO? Welcome in, my man. Glad to have you in here this morning.
JMO.
We also had some questions in here that I wanted to get to before we continue our game of poll perception. The question in here said, should I start Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, James Robinson, or hurt Dalvin Cook? Yes, I have a lot of RBs. This comes from our friend Aiden. Coop, what would you be doing here? Start Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, James Robinson, or hurt Dalvin Cook?
If David Montgomery is ruled out, I think I'd start Khalil Herbert against the Giants. Otherwise, I would start hurt Dalvin Cook, I think.
What about you, JL?
Yeah, I agree with Coop. James Robinson is in this conversation for me, though.
I was hoping you would pick James Robinson so that I could be like, you know what? I would pick James Robinson too. But
then I will.
If you're not picking him, it's got to be Dalvin. I think it's hard to go.
I'm going to go one of the two of these guys. I'm going to go James Robinson. I'm going to pair it with Dalvin Cook or Khalil Herbert, and it's going to depend on the information we get in the next couple of days, right? On Dalvin Cook and on David Montgomery.
Yep.
And so whichever way that starts to go, and whichever player I'm more confident in come Sunday, I'm going with that player.
If you're on the East Coast, start Dalvin Cook. But if you're on the West Coast, Benjamin sleeping.
And if you're in Australia, go to bed.
If you're in Australia, that would actually be evening. Oh yeah, you could go to bed. Nah, stay up, hang out with us.
The time zone stuff confuses me so much. Do you think there's like a time of day that we don't have here that they, like we've got morning, day, night, evening? Like, do they have like?
Is there another thing? Like,
is there another thing that they have in Australia where it's like the?
I bet they do, and it's like poisonous. Like knowing Australia, it like bites.
There's an hour of the day where you just can't go outside because it's like Hunger Games, a poisonous gas going through.
Box jellyfish coming out of the ocean, you know, like
floating in the sky.
Drop bears, right? Like, yeah, there's all the so
all the classics. Man,
back to that into your start sits.
I think I'm going James Robinson or Dalvin Cook. Like, if the news stays where it is or gets better for Dalvin Cook, I'll plug him in. Otherwise, I'll just roll with James Robinson. That's a great backup plan to have. Tim said, "Oh no," or the box jellyfish hour.
The box jellyfish hour.
I hate when that happens, dude.
I hate when that happens. That's absolutely the worst. One more question in here from Hal. Hal said, "Would you drop Rachaad White for Walker the third, Kenneth Walker? I picked up Penny off of waivers. Also have JT Dillon, Jamal Williams, and Damian Williams. So would you drop Rachaad White for Kenneth Walker?"
So yesterday I would have 100% said that, but now there was like this weird rumor I saw that Leonard Fournette like told the other backs that they are going to need to step up and play more. Rick Stroud, Leonard Fournette told fellow RBs Rachaad White and Keyshawn Vaughn that they're going to have to share snaps with him. He wants to prolong his career. He knows there's time is coming and he's embracing it. What a weird stat, but it's from Rick Stroud, who is like, you know, I trust.
I can't wait to start using that one. Like, I'm gonna like call Jail and be like, "Hey, Jail, I know I was supposed to do this today for work, but I'm really trying to extend my career, and I'm gonna need you to step up and do this for me."
Yeah.
like, hey, Leanne, I know I was supposed to do these dishes, but I'm really trying to extend my dishwashing career. I'm gonna need you to step in and do something. This is gonna be my go-to from now on, Leonard Fournette. Thank you.
I mean, Leonard Fournette played like every snap recently. It's just like, I don't know. Najee Harris is out here saying he wants to play every snap. Leonard Fournette is saying, "I'm tired.
I'm good."
Will you guys play a little? Come on.
Honestly, Lenny, I get it. Like, I feel like sports are the most fun when you can go out there, just like expend all your energy, then take a nice little break, have like a Capri Sun and some orange slices, and then run back out there and try really hard again for a minute. And then, whoo, that was good. Let me just sit down and relax for a minute.
That was
I
me
feel
at
like
the
we've seen that from Leonard
Expo.
Fournette, though. Like, we've seen Leonard Fournette be like just kind of lose interest at times. And then he'll like kind of come back and be like, oh, like, no, like, guys, stop counting me out. I'm good.
I've seen Leonard Fournette not pay speeding tickets so many times in a row that they had to arrest him. So
you know what?
Leonard Fournette's ability to not care, I believe, is very strong.
when you've been 40 years old since you were 12, life probably gets a little bit boring. Exactly, by 29. Know what I mean? Like when you've been 40, like, God, he's just been in that midlife period for like 20 years now. He's exhausted, man. His bones are aching. He's ready to just sit down a little bit. But I'm not too worried about Leonard Fournette. I would probably still make this move. I'd still drop Rachaad White for Kenneth Walker, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Rachaad White doesn't even play. And I don't think it's Lenny's, like, I don't think it's he has a say. Like, if it were up to him, wouldn't he be subbing himself out? Like, he
could just do this.
Yeah, like he looks at the sideline for a break, and Rachaad White's like, "No, you stay. I'm not going out there.
Come on."
Like the 100%, those guys definitely already want to play. Like,
you see them on the sideline, like holding each other's shoulders, trying to like get the other one on the field.
Yeah, I doubt that's how it works. I think those guys already want to play Lenny. Like, you're gonna have to. I think that's something you got to talk to the coaches about. Leonard.
You know,
not the reporters.
If someone wrote all of our fake stories about players down, like we literally write like NFL fan fiction on air like every day, where we just run down these little paths of like players' interactions with each other. We got to put out an NFL fanfic book. Jay Wall reminded me that we're writing it every day. An animator. Leonard Fournette and Rachaad White just like flirtily pushing each other onto the field on the sidelines over there. Jameson in here asking us thoughts on KJ Osborne and Adam Thielen's health. So, Coop, are you concerned about Adam Thielen's health? And if he's out or not playing, is KJ Osborne someone you're interested in plugging in?
Yes, I would very much be interested in KJ Osborne. I'd be a lot more interested in Irv Smith than I've been recently. That's what's been holding back Irv Smith, is that he's the de facto third target on the team. But if Adam Thielen's not playing, both those guys I think are worth starting if you need help at those positions.
Yeah, I'm with you. And if you didn't bring up Irv Smith, I was going to bring up Irv Smith, but you're the tight end guy, so it makes more sense. You know more words about Irv Smith than I do.
KJ Osborne just went right past me. I just barely mentioned him again at the end. I was like, what was the question? It's all tight ends.
Do you think we're seeing the decline for Adam Thielen, like towards the end of his career? Is this the twilight of Adam Thielen's career? Because KJ Osborne's had a bigger role than I expected in this offense so far.
Yeah, well, I think that I don't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, well, he's a 31 going on 32, right? So I mean, like, no question, he's already hit the twilight here. But I think it more has to do with Kevin O'Connell bringing over this Rams offense that is all three wide receiver sets. Before, they used a ton of two wide receiver sets and the fullback CJ Ham so much that it was just kind of two wide receivers out there all the time. That really highly consolidated the targets. Now that it's three guys, I think, we were destined to see more KJ Osborne no matter what.
Yeah, that checks out. Jail, how are you feeling about Mr. Adam Thielen?
I agree with Coop. And, we got to be realistic about age and what these wide receivers are able to do. If you have him in Dynasty, he's one of those players that I think you can hold and just see what you get out of. He's still going to be scoring touchdowns. He's good enough for at least this year and probably another year or two before he really starts falling off. But for me, it's a get what you can out of him and then go.
Get what you get and don't throw a fit.
Yeah.
Dale, are you ready for your next poll?
Yeah.
Coop's got a 3-0 lead, and I've lost the card I'm keeping score on, but it's somewhere around here. I know Coop's up 3-0. That's good enough for me.
I could have sworn it was 4.
Oh, I could have sworn you smelled like fish through the camera. Yeah. So that's just where we're at, Coop. Dale,
we're at.
You ready for the next poll? Dale, your poll comes from Doug McCray, NFL, and the question is, what's worse? Side A, bro. Side B, chief. Side C, bud or buddy. And side D, pal. What percentage of people said bro was the worst out of bro, chief, buddy, and pal?
Oh, come on. That can't be that high. Maybe. Do people hate bro? Is bro on the hate list?
I don't know, bro.
I say bro all the time.
You say bro way too much, buddy.
Listen up, pal.
Can you give me the options again? It was bro. It was
Bro, listen up. The other options, chief, then buddy, and pal. It's bro, chief, buddy, and pal.
Bro,
But
chief,
I will
buddy,
say
and
for
pal.
buddy, it's buddy inclusive of bud also. The DY is in parentheses, so it's like bud or buddy.
Both are pretty just condescending. So I have to think that the percentage is high on those. But then again, no one agrees with me on anything. So maybe I'm just completely wrong on that.
Dale said, but no one agrees with me on anything.
That's true.
Let's go with 11%.
11% final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, Coop, do you think the actual percentage is over or under Jail's guess of 11%?
That's tough because there's a lot more over available than under. But I don't think bro is that offensive. Like Chief is kind of great, dude. Calling somebody chief is excellent. let's start with that, dude. Like you're definitely trying to push their buttons, calling them chief. And same with pal and buddy. That's why I think you did a good job with this guess. So I'm gonna say, but I'm still gonna say over, just because there's very limited numbers under.
Playing the numbers game, taking the over. There weren't that many guesses in the chat, but there were immediately people coming in, strong opinions. Hal saying, yeah, bro is fighting words. Tommy saying chief is the most annoying ever. Hal also saying chief fighting words.
Chief
and
is so annoying.
Tim over in the YouTube chat said something. You called the wrong person pal in New Jersey, and you're fixing for a beating.
Fixing for a beating.
I'm just going to walk around New Jersey going, what's up, pal? What's up, pal? How's it going?
Pal.
You're finna get beat up, Chief.
By some New Jerseys. They can't even pump their own gas. How are they going to beat me up? Are they going to ask the gas station attendant to beat me up? Like, excuse me, can someone beat up this man for me? I'm not legally allowed to.
This question has, for the next 2 hours of the show, there are going to be so many more pals, buddies, and chiefs being thrown around. I think we already used a little bit of bros, but I'm definitely dropping some chiefs on you guys.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. All right, what's the answer, Chief?
Oh, God. Oh, well, the percentage of people that chose bro in this poll was 11%. JL, you got it exactly right. 10 points on your score right
I should have queen beat it. I thought about it too.
Let's go. Hal in the chat saying no way. You know what, JL? Just really great job, buddy. That was so good.
Yeah,
Thanks, pal.
Good guess, Chief.
Great.
Thanks, buddy.
guess,
It is a good way to protect. Queen being is a good way to protect yourself too.
But you were not protected, Coop.
Wreck yourself before you protect yourself.
Great guess.
Wreck yourself before you protect yourself.
Jordan said the greatest moment of JL's life. Yeah.
I honestly, I just didn't even believe you, Simon. I thought you were gonna mess with me. And so I wasn't biting because I was like,
You thought the rug pull?
He's about to pull the rug, and I'm going to be devastated.
You thought I was going to I just ran.
Yes.
Where's the Australian accent coming from? It's just sneaking out now. That was. You thought that R was going to, or like all of a sudden it's just, oh no. I talk too much about Australia time zones, and now
you're Australian.
It's just going to start coming out. Ooh. Okay, JL, you now have the lead after that 10-3. Coop, are you ready for your next poll?
I am so ready. Just kidding.
This comes from Bruce Irons NFL. If the Packers could trade Romeo Doubs for George Pickens straight up right now, what would you want them to do? Trade for Pickens or keep Doubs?
Can I ask if this guy seems to have any sort of affiliation with his Twitter?
Yeah, you can. 1 second, and I will let you know. Yeah, his name on Twitter is Packers for the win.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So you got the homerism there that's going to skew towards the dubster. But there was so much preseason hype on Pickens. Quite bit.
So hot right now.
Quite a bit. Scorching hot. I will still say that the Packers home base will want to keep their sweet Romeo. Therefore, I will guess that 73% of Packers homers think that they already have the better player.
73%.
Yeah.
Final answer, Coop?
Finalize it.
73%. Oh, it's been finalized. JL, do you
Fashion.
think the actual percentage of people that think the Packers should trade? Oh, wait, Coop, you were guessing for the trade for Pickens side.
Oh, sorry. So flip that. 27 then. Want to keep him.
27%. JL, do you think the actual percentage of people that want the Packers to trade for Pickens with Romeo Doubs is over or under Coop's guess of 27%?
The number of Packer fans who say yes, they want to trade Dobbs for Pickens. Over or under 27%. I'm going to go with over.
Over. You think more people would want to trade for Pickens?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a guess in the chat. Tommy guessing 55% on this one. I'm curious what you guys would do in this situation as a neutral non-Packers fan. But first, we'll find out the answer to this poll. The percentage of people that said they would trade for Pickens is 13%. Coop, you were just within that scoring range, 14 percentage points away. So it's going to bring you up to 4 points. JL, you get nothing for picking the over on that one. It was, in fact, under. More people saying they would keep Romeo. Going to keep you at 10 points, 10-4. And Coop, I think you hit the nail on the head whenever you were breaking this one down. It's Packers fans. They like what they've seen there. It's that confirmation bias, right? Like ever since they drafted this player, Romeo, they've been building it up in their head that this is the guy. And now they've got some things to confirm it.
There was a stretch there like a couple years ago where they legit only had 2 players on the team that they didn't draft. It was insane. Like they're such a homegrown team. It's crazy.
Homegrown. And then Jordan said Packers fans are the most delusional fan base out there, just throwing shade at an entire fan base this morning. I don't know. I feel like Cowboys fans think they're winning a Super Bowl every year. Not all Cowboys fans, just the loudest of the bunch. I promise, Craig, I'm not talking about you. Or Julian, if you're listening over here. Guys, we got some more coming up. We're going to finish this game of fantasy poll perception in a little bit. And then we'll be playing some fantasy detectives as well later. And Andy Behrens, great friend and fantasy analyst over at Yahoo, is joining the show. This is the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show on Better Sports Network.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Better Sports Network.
Syracuse is like, yeah, we got a spot for you.
We don't even care about our soccer team.
We don't even care.
We totally have that spot.
Right? They had to like cobble together a soccer team. Like, yeah, this guy's the captain.
Oh my God. It's like Accepted, the movie, but they just had to throw together a whole fake soccer team.
Somehow they still got Justin Long.
Right, yeah. Like Adam Sandler's the coach. And dude, imagine they win the national championship. That's a movie, dog. Yeah.
Boom!
Someone call up Disney. Yeah, we just wrote a movie for you, Disney. This has Disney sports movie written all over. I'm borderline crying right here just thinking about this movie right now.
Dude, the story gets even crazier. Like I should have looked it up again, but like it was like a high school coach that went and found him, and then that high school coach ended up being somebody crazy famous that like coached for the Rams.
Stay tuned for sports. Talk about your picks, your fantasy teams, and your sports collectibles on Better Sports Network.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We're in the middle of a game of poll perception, but before we jump back into our last 2 polls, we had some questions come in the chat. First, Will came in and asked, When Dak comes back, should I start him right away? If so, should I sit Kirk or Goff? It's a 2 QB league. So when Dak comes back off of his injury, if he's in there playing, are you guys starting him over Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff?
Let's take a little peek at the week 5 matchups for you guys. Here's what we have. So assuming he's back week 5, the Cowboys will get the Rams. That over under is opened at 50 points, Rams being 6-point favorites. Then you'll have the Vikings playing the Bears at home, and the over under, and that's low. Vikings obviously big favorites, 43 over under, Vikings favored by 7. And then you will have the Lions playing the Patriots in New England. Patriots opened as favorites, also a low scoring over under. So I think based on that, I would want to get Dak in there. Question is who I would take out.
Yeah. It's tough. Jared Goff isn't playing well. Kirk Cousins is good enough. I think this is going to depend on how I feel about Dak Prescott coming back and the news surrounding that as he's coming back. He's not coming back this week, right? We know that for sure. So week 5 is probably soon. Is that for sure? Week 5?
No, that's just what they were projecting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I would probably go Dak, assuming that the news around him coming back and his injury are good, are positive.
Your life becomes quite a bit easier if he doesn't come back to week 6, because the Lions have a bye week 6. So you start Dak and Kirk, and then week 7, the Vikings have a bye week. So then you could start Goff and Dak. Like, you would have no decisions to make if he comes back week 6 instead of 5. So I would root for that. That just makes your life a lot easier. If he does come back week 5, I think I would start. Oh, I don't know, man. I think I'd bench Jared Goff.
You're benching Goff. I'm benching Kirk Cousins if he comes back week 5.
I think the Lions-Patriots game could be one of those games that the Patriots are just like a fantasy football black hole, like on both sides of the ball, right? Like, their defense is fine, their special teams are smart, and their offense is lame. And that just like makes for the most boring games possible, right? Like, it's just the Patriots are the worst. They're my favorite team.
Instead of Patriots fan.
They're my favorite team. Yeah, go Pats. Right. But it's just like, I think the Patriots are going to try and like play hockey games out here and just try and score one goal and muddle the puck. Like, that's how the Patriots going to win while Mac Jones is out. So
they're going to win some 3-2 field goal to a safety games. Like that would be a beautiful Patriots game. Bill Belichick would be throwing a party if they won 3-2.
Right. Like, they're going to be running the wishbone offense with like 3 running backs. Like, it's going to be stupid. I tell you. Get excited.
We had another question in here from Will. Said, I plan on benching Dalvin Cook. Should I play Madison, Wilson Jr., or Pollard? So if Cook's healthy and playing, would you play him over these 3 guys, or you plugging in one of these 3? Alexander Madison, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Tony Pollard?
You can't play Madison if Cook's playing. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not willing to do that either. If I have to plug in one of these guys, it's probably Jeff Wilson Jr. I mean, Pollard's got
the turntables.
I mean, he's the lead back in that offense, right? Like, he's the only lead back here besides Dalvin Cook is what we're talking about. So
Jeff Wilson played 41 of 56 snaps. You got to play him.
Yeah. You can't ignore someone who's on the field that much. So if you're not going Cook, I'd probably still go Cook if he's playing, like, regardless. But if you're uncomfortable with Cook, you can plug Jeff Wilson in my eyes. And then one more, Philly Mac said, should I drop Landry and add McKenzie or James? So drop Jarvis Landry for Isaiah McKenzie or Richie James. Jail, are you doing that?
I would drop Landry for McKenzie.
No, I can't do it because he's not playing. He doesn't play the full game. He doesn't even play close.
I know, but that offense is so good.
He played 46 of 91 snaps that last week. If they play a normal number of snaps, which is like 60, he's playing like 30. I just can't do it. They do go to him in some important situations, though. You know what I mean? Like, if they want to end the game because he can't get out of bounds, go to McKenzie.
But what is Jarvis Landry doing? Like, I'm just reading his snap share percentage: 72% week 1, 68 week 2, 30% last week. He's really done nothing outside of that first week.
He got hurt.
I know, but that's part of it. Like, I'd rather have McKenzie, who's not playing as much, than Jarvis Landry, who's injured and not doing that much of it.
McKenzie has one game McKenzie also has two games with 3 targets each.
But he's made those targets work. He's made turn those targets into fantasy points.
He turned those targets into 37 yards week 2.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No, I mean, McKenzie's going to be inconsistent, Coop. You're right. Like, he's not on the field enough to have that consistency. But in that Bills offense, like, I hear what you're saying, JL. There's just upside for players that have a role in this offense, and McKenzie has a role. Like, it's not a full-time role, but he's got a role over here, and it can turn into a touchdown.
I'm not a Isaiah McKenzie fan by any means, but between the choice between Landry and McKenzie,
I love Isaiah McKenzie.
I'm the biggest McKenzie fan.
Also, Richie James might be the guy that ends up playing the biggest snap share now that everyone on the team is hurt and Kenny Golladay is terrible.
The worst Sterling player Shepard in the NFL, some might say.
What percentage of people? Like a huge percentage. Sterling Shepard was the one doing the most. He's out. Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney are going to return at some point, but who, when, Richie James, David Sales, these guys are going to be playing big snap shares. Going to be great.
You guys ready for your next poll? Dale, you have one more poll. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and get this game going. This question comes from the Action Network HQ. Which alternate uniform is your favorite? Side A, Commanders black and bold. Side B, the Bengals white Bengal uniforms, or side C, the Giants throwback uniforms. What percentage of people said the Commanders black and bold uniforms were their favorite alternate unis?
Commanders black and bold? I don't even know if I know these ones.
You know these ones.
I don't know if I know them either.
I'm going to pull them up so I can see them. Okay. Oh, okay. So the all black uniform. Oh, I love all black uniforms.
That's kind of tight.
All right, so give it to me one more time. The black and bolds, the
Bengals
New York Giants
white.
Throwback, just any throwback, or is there a specific?
Their alternate uniforms are a throwback uniform. Like whenever they wear an alternate uniform.
The Bengals white uniforms are sick too.
I know.
What's the third
and
one?
Which one?
The Bengals white.
No,
the Giants. Giants throwback. Or Commander black and bold, and I'm guessing on which one?
Commanders black and bold.
Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna go a little bit chalky here. I'm gonna go 33%.
Lame. Go 35.
33%.
Never.
JL going 33% on the Commanders black and bold. What are you thinking, Coop?
I think it's going to be. I think people like. I don't know who would pick the Giants. Oh, the red throwbacks. That's what they're talking about.
They're talking about red. I was
the
looking
Giants
at
have some crazy red throwbacks. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's going to be. I think people like the Bengals ones. I think it's going to be under 33. Lock that in.
Coop going with the under 33%. We had some guesses in the chat. Hal with 65%. Tommy with 12%. Fantasy Nav with 9%. Eric guessing 9%. Well, the actual percentage of people that chose the Commanders black and bold was 12%. Tommy is exactly right in the chat.
Tommy, dude. And I think fantasy
no points.
Even though Tommy was exactly right, I think Eric might be also exactly right, where he said nobody's voting in support of the Commanders. Like, you got to think some of these people probably didn't even take the time to look it up. They were just like, Commanders. Definitely not. Commanders, Giants. Like every Eagles and Cowboys fan immediately just clicked on the Bengals.
So spiteful. Right? Yeah.
What's
What did the Bengals get? Because they won like 50 something, I bet.
The Bengals did win 71.5% of this vote for those white Bengal jerseys.
The Bengal ones are hot. I'm not gonna lie. The Bengal ones are hot. I look at them and I just feel like fire is all I can think of. But
what are some of your other favorite throwbacks, dude?
I love all black jerseys. So honestly the Commanders one is dope. The Commanders all black is great.
I like for alternate, not throwback, but for alternate jerseys, I like the Saints Power Ranger ones, dude. They look like the white Power Ranger.
We have to do like a segment on just NFL jerseys.
I think it's the Saints Color Rush. Looks like the white Power Ranger.
Oh, dang.
I haven't seen the Saints, or I can't pull the Saints Color Rush. I'm also a sucker for any of like the light blues, the powder blues of any sort. Like there's certain teams that do those. Like the Tennessee Titans, I think, have like a light blue jersey that they roll out there sometimes.
The Oilers. The Oilers jerseys.
The older Oiler jerseys.
Yeah, those are
hot.
Beautiful. Those are absolutely beautiful.
Patriots red with the white helmets. Those are my favorite Homer jerseys, and I think that they're so good that they make our normal ones look really bad.
Ooh, you know which one I forgot about? The Lions gray Color Rush jerseys, like the gray ones with the light blue on there. I like those ones a lot, but we've talked about my love for gray blue. It's beautiful. Coop, JL, you don't like that one? I see you frowning over there.
You like silver in these like dominant team colors. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it looks
not a silver guy.
Looks like Halloween Town 2 Calabar's Revenge.
The ideal Simon jersey.
It's a great movie.
It's a deep reference.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the ideal Simon jersey would be this gray with like instead of blue, like pink.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of pink.
And some like black highlights, like around the numbers. There's black as well. Like
you nailed it.
Yeah, 100%. You got it. That's my color scheme right there, Coop. Because we have one more poll. This is going to determine the winner potentially. JL, you are up 10-6 in this matchup right now. All of your points coming from getting that one poll exactly correct.
I know. I had enough. Now I have enough leeway. I just completely whiffed on the last poll.
I should just queen bee all your guesses and then just like chisel away the rest of the way.
JL, you can still lose this game though, because this last poll, how this is going to work is you guys are both going to be guessing a number. If you've got pen and paper ready, get it ready to go. I'm going to ask this poll, then you guys tell me the percentage. Here is your poll. From Aaron Kate Dolan, who will be the last undefeated team in the NFL? Side A, Dolphins. Side B, Eagles. What percentage of people said Dolphins in this poll?
Kate Dolan's hot. I'm gonna use my fountain pen to see if I can sway Simon.
That's messed up. I don't have a fountain pen.
That's all right. Can't really sway numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely change the numbers for you based on the fountain pen that you're using.
Don't forget to factor in how many spiteful NFC West fans there are, NFC East fans there are on Twitter.
Never. I refuse.
Tim in the chat saying 1,000,000% Dolphins if we win tonight. You know, that would be a big step towards being the last undefeated team. These teams are falling quick. Who do the Eagles play this week again? I feel like I know this one. The Eagles are playing against the Jaguars. That's right. So the Eagles are, I don't know. I was about to say the Eagles are probably undefeated, but then the Jaguars have made no sense to me all season. Like, just, I don't get it. It's not checking out, but they look decent out there. Joe, you got your answer ready?
I got mine ready to show.
Coop, you got your answer ready?
Yeah.
What percentage of people said the Dolphins would be the last remaining team? Show it. We got 61 from Coop and JL. Does that say
69?
69. So both of you guys thinking the Dolphins are going to be the last undefeated team in the NFL? Or you at least think people are going to think that?
I think the people are going to think that. I would have said 50. Okay.
Well, the actual percentage of people that chose the Dolphins in this poll was 18%. Coop, you are closer, meaning you're going to get the 5 points and win this game 11-10.
Stupid game.
First of all, I'd like to thank me. Couldn't have possibly done this without me. I'd also like to thank JL for being terrible with this. Excellent job, JL. Made this happen. I'd like to thank the chat. Smash that fun button, chat. You guys, incredibly important. Simon, kudos to you. And nothing to say about Keith.
Tommy's saying, way to go, Chief. Just way to go, Chief.
Way to go, Chief.
Really knocked that one out of the park, pal.
Dropping the Chief on me.
Coming up, we're going to be talking some Thursday night football, and we'll be playing some fantasy detectives a little bit later as well. And our great friend Andy Behrens from Fantasy Football at Yahoo is joining the show as well. This is the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on the Better Sports Network.
The Playbook with Fensty and Ronis, presented by FantasyAlarm.com.
Brandon Staley says Joey Bosa suffered a significant groin injury. My goodness, the Chargers. Dude, I'm out. All right, I do this every year. They suck me in. Every year I'm on the Chargers. And what do? They burn me, man. Burn me. Injuries across the board. How was Justin Herbert in that game late? Why did he even play?
That's a good question.
That line moved significantly. It went down to 3.5. So he said, all right, Herbert's probably not going to play. And then on the scoreboard, it said that Chase Daniel was the starting quarterback. Then the line moved again. And, unbelievable, man. So
how much does it have to suck being that guy that tweeted that out? That, on the video scoreboard during dress rehearsal, Chase Daniel.
But when you were reading the tea leaves, you have to be like, you know what? This is not a good play. Like, you can't roll with him. You know he's banged up. There was questions all week. They're a disaster right now. They lost Slater, one of their linemen for the year. They have so many injuries right now. It's the same story with the Chargers every single year, man.
Corey, Nando, and friends. Presented by Mayo Media on Better Sports Network.
Allen Robinson, a dog. Once again, a dog. Allen Robinson. Hard to trust him in your lineup. You know what I'm saying?
I would trust him to do what at this point?
Yeah, exactly. Like be invisible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This comes from our boy Tommy B. Such an interesting theory. So Tommy would say, and Allen Robinson is like the perfect guy to do this theory with. When a player gets off to a bad start like this, if you drafted highly, don't put him on your bench. Cut him.
Yeah.
Because as long as he's on your team, you're going to think this is the week, and that week is not coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're just eating up all of these bad games. So instead of putting them on the bench and keep tempting yourself, just be done with them. Cut them. And that's where I'm at on Allen Robinson right now. Cut him.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
That's the point people miss with Kelsey. They argue there isn't volatility. They argue that he is the dominant dude every week and he gives you an edge every week. And that's why he deserves to be drafted in the second round. He is just that. I get it. He's the best tight end. But, Ray, they're acting like every week is a consistent 15, 16, 17 points. It's just not.
At the end of the season, he's going to give you an A-plus performance.
No, within the position, he gives you an A-plus. I don't need an A-plus at tight end. I need A-plus at running back. I need A-plus at wide receiver. I don't need it at tight end, but people think they do. But my argument is, when are people drafting Travis Kelce? People are doing this everywhere, everywhere. And their argument is he's awesome every week. He's the best. We need one tight end. That's it. We need 5 running backs. You're drafting one tight end and you're telling me I got to get the best guy in the second round. I'm going to overpay at a position I don't need. It's just not worth investing in, because even the best guys, they're nowhere near the top 10 on occasion.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We're about to talk some Thursday night football. Dolphins and Bengals facing off tonight. Before we do that, though, we had a couple questions come in the chat that I wanted to make sure we were able to answer so far. Tyson said, can you guys choose to bench one for me this week, PPR? So bench one. Thank you, Tyson, for phrasing the question like this. Sometimes people come in and they're like, name 6 players. They're like, start 5. And then we're just going through, and it's like bench one.
Start Jamar Chase and start,
Here's the question. You have to bench one of these: T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton, Drake London, and Javonte Williams. At least 2 of the players starting have to be wide receivers. So you can only bench, I guess you have to bench one of the wide receivers. Javonte Williams is starting.
All right, can we lock in T. Higgins?
I'm locking in T. Higgins.
Lock in the Hickster, lock in Javonte Williams. Right.
So are we benching Sutton or Drake? Sutton or Drake London?
Probably Drake. Oh,
that's tough.
Drake London gets Cleveland. Cortland Sutton gets Vegas.
This Cleveland secondary hasn't been what we thought it was going to be. They've been relatively beatable.
And very high total on this one.
I have those wide receivers ranked 17, 18, and 20 with Cortland Sutton at 20.
Yeah, I think.
But that's
so Cortland Sutton on the bench for me. Also, Tyson said Javonte doesn't have to play. Okay, so I misunderstood, but I'm still playing Javonte probably. I'm
I
benching
know.
Sutton.
I want to play Javonte no matter what, but at the same time,
You might bench him over Sutton. It's full PPR, JL.
Right.
I can't bench Javonte Williams. My heart won't let me do it.
Yeah, I'm benching.
Sutton's been
Portland
really
Sutton.
good though, huh?
Yeah. I would go London, Javonte Williams, T. Higgins.
London, Javonte Williams, T. Higgins. Yeah, it looks like we're all in agreement. JL answering who he would all start instead of who he would sit as well. You were like full agreement with me. Like, yeah, we need to name the one sit. And then you're like, I would start these three guys. Yeah, forget the one name.
That's how my mind was going through it.
Look, that's the thing though. I agree with JL though. It hurts to say sit someone. It feels better on my brain. Feels better on my brain to say start those guys than it says to say sit Cortland Sutton, who has 72, 122, and 97 yards last 3 games. Like
I'm sorry for making fun of that, JL. It's a positive way of thinking about it instead of thinking about a negative. Any way you can change a question to be from a positive point of view, you should do it. Just add a little more positivity into your life.
Okay.
Tonight we have the Dolphins and Bengals game. The Miami Dolphins going to Cincinnati to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals. The total is set at 47.5 points, and the Bengals are 3.5-point favorites at home. So 3.5-point favorites. And Coop, you were talking a little bit about how this line has been moving at the beginning of the show. Do you think we're going to see any more movement leading up to game time, or is this just based on the injury news we've seen so far?
I think we're good. If anything, I mean, maybe the fact that the Dolphins had to like evacuate the area and probably lost a day of practice over that. Maybe you see a line move, but I think we're probably sitting pretty steady here.
Yeah. Do you think if you had to pick a winner right now, Coop, who are you picking? Are you picking the Bengals or you're picking the Bengals? You think they end the Dolphins' undefeated season so far?
Yeah, I think the Bengals win. And it's because I think the Bengals are a good enough team. The Dolphins probably playing over their skis a little bit, and the Bengals are the home team. If this was in Miami, I probably would pick Miami. It's that close for me. But there is something to home field advantage.
Jill, what do you think here?
Yeah, I agree with Coop. I'm taking the Bengals here.
Man, I think
Tommy asked what the over was. 47.5, Tommy.
Yeah,
47.5.
Spread is 3.5 points.
What do you think, Simon? Who you got?
I think Joe Burrow's in trouble. I think this offensive line has looked absolutely horrid, and this Miami defense has looked better than I thought on the D-line front so far through the season. I think Joe Burrow could be laying on the ground a lot this game, and it's going to be hard for them to pull out the victory. I'm going to go with the Dolphins rolling, and I think it's the Dolphins defense that makes the difference in this one. And I see Hal in here saying the Dolphins defense predicates itself to the blitz, and Burrow and Chase dominate against blitz. So going a little bit different over there, saying
Tim Wright also had some pretty deep analysis. If you want to read his.
Oh yeah, tell us.
Okay, yeah. Let me see what Tim said. Tim said Bengals are duty poo poo.
Duty poo poo.
Okay,
kind of almost as deep as Hal's analysis.
Two really good points. Yeah, two really good points brought up by Tim and Hal here, but. Yeah, I guess I'm on the Tim side. Bengals are duty poo-poo, and you guys are on Hal's side. Bengals are not duty poo-poo. Is like if I had to summarize what Hal said.
Yes.
In summary, I think it's easier to boil it down to Tim's language there than it is to try and translate what Tim said into Hal's.
Also, Albert in here saying the Dolphins defense played 92 snaps on defense this Sunday, and that is a quick turnaround to Thursday night, so they could be a little bit winded as well. And Tommy's saying looks like an easy over. Coop, you liking the over in this game, 47.5 points?
If this game was on like Sunday at 4:25 or 1 o'clock, then I would say that. But Thursday's dicey with that stuff, man. Sometimes Thursdays are ugly. That's the only thing holding me back from smashing the over there.
Yeah.
Very short week. And somebody just pointed out Dolphins played defense. Oh, it's Albert. Albert, what up, dog? Dolphins defense played 92 snaps on Sunday, which is well above average. As we like to point out, 69 was the highest any team averaged last year. 92 is insane. I think it's only happened 2 other times this year. And one was the overtime game the Bengals played week 1. So 92 snaps is insane.
And Dustin saying the Dolphins missing their best player, the Miami Heat. Yeah, the Heat did a little bit of work for them this past weekend, but I still think they're a decent team, even without the 100-degree weather down there on the field. When we're talking about fantasy options in tonight's game, some of them are obvious. I don't think we need to spend too much time, but like Tua, we're starting Tua, right? Tua's playing, you're starting Tua. Jalen Waddle, you're starting Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill, you're starting Tyreek Hill. I think after that, on the Dolphins side of the ball is where we start talking. The running back situation has been a little bit confusing. Chase Edmonds scored 2 touchdowns last week, but he only had like 7 touches for, what was it, like less than 30 yards in that game, but had the 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert has had a big game where he had a ton of touches, but then just kind of went to the wayside. He had near 15 touches in week 2. Who's the guy? Can you start either of these running backs?
It's McDaniels, bro. The hot hand. It's the hot hands, man. He's bringing that hot hand Shanahan nonsense over that. It drives us nuts, dude. I would love if the split was like one guy was playing pass downs and one guy was playing run downs, but it's split right down the middle. And whoever, I don't know, dude, whoever did the best pass blocking in practice behind closed doors during the week is the guy that's going to get all the touches. It's like, you're playing a coin flip game.
You don't think it's decided based on the better good morning smooch to Shanahan? Like whoever just or not Shanahan, McDaniel, that like whoever gives him the better
Shanahan.
It's a Shanahan.
They will, the 4 of them wake up in one big bed every morning. Chase Edmonds, Mostert, Shanahan, and McDaniel. And McDaniel stands over the bed and he's like, go ahead. And whoever gives Shanahan the wettest smooch. And he pulls so I mean,
the wettest, not the best, the wettest.
Chapter 3.
Scientifically measured too. He probably pulls out. He like scrapes a little in there. He's like, nope, sorry.
Dear diary, Raheem Mostert's lips were dry today.
Mostert's like, no, I can do it again.
Yeah, let me try. I just please.
Yeah. I've got the chapstick right here. It's medicated.
That's probably how they decide. So. Gonna be tough to. But I mean, right now Chase Edmonds is the hot hand. So if you have both on your team, start Chase Edmonds, right? I mean, that's how hot hand should work, right?
Yeah, but you're right. There's been 4 days where we haven't seen how hot anybody's hands are. So it's going to be difficult to know if like he is still the hot hand in their eyes. But if I had to pick one, I'm with you. Like, I'm going to pick the guy that I saw do it last, and that's Chase Edmonds. So that's where I'm going on that one. I'd prefer not to start either, though. Now, Coop, you know what I'm about to ask you. Is Mike Gesicki, the tight end for the Miami Dolphins, someone that you have any interest in starting?
The tight end for the Miami Dolphins is Durham Smythe. Mike Gesicki is like a rotational slot wide receiver that rotates with Trent Sherfield. I have zero interest in Mike Gesicki whatsoever. And I think the Dolphins have zero interest in him whatsoever. Like, he only played 17 snaps last week.
So you're dropping. If you drafted Mike Gesicki, he's a full-on drop at this point.
I told everyone to drop Mike Gesicki a long, long time ago.
He did on the show.
The show, on Twitter,
week
on
1.
Reddit, and people were like, okay. Like no one even like usually people get all upset and they're like, well, wait a minute. But no, everyone's just like, yeah, fine. Like it's just, that's just the way it is. Mike Gesicki would probably tell you to drop him. He's like, I don't even play.
I see Hal in the chat saying, poor Gesicki. That's me. How have I never heard Gesicki? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad over there. I see Tommy in the chat. We're going to move over to the Bengals side of the ball. He wants to know which Bengals wideout gets the most yards tonight. JL, if you had to predict T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, or as we saw last week, Tyler Boyd, who's going to get the most receiving yards in this offense for the Bengals tonight?
I'm going to go Jamar Chase. Do we know if Xavier Howard's going to be playing this game?
He was on the injury report.
He's questionable, but I haven't seen anything since.
What does your boy Tom Pelorisso say?
Pelorisso.
Yeah, so he should be playing, JL is what it's saying. He's playing through a soft tissue injury. So he's likely playing, but he still does have that soft tissue injury.
Yeah, for me, it's Chase, then T. Higgins.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here and say Jamar Chase.
Very bold. Hot take. That's a JL hot take right there.
You know what?
Scorching hot take. I'm going to make a bold take and say that Mike Williams is a wide receiver 1. Is that the hot take?
Like that was one of them.
Yeah.
Mike Williams, top 12 wide receiver.
I think it's starting to look like a bold take.
I'll go T. Higgins. I think these guys are close enough, and this could easily be a T. Higgins game. Like, this is less about, I think for sure T. Higgins is going to outperform Jamar Chase, and these guys are a 1A, 1B scenario. If both of you guys are picking Chase, I want to make sure there's confidence in starting Higgins as well. It's not like this is a Chase game. And I think they're going to see similar amounts of targets at season's end. So I'll go T. Higgins here. Vegas has them Jamar Chase at 75.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. T. Higgins at 64.5 receiving yards. Are you touching either of those lines over under? Or are you hands off?
I looked at some lines, and I actually, even though I think Chase leads the team, I like your logic, Simon, that it could be either one of them, right? And for the most receiving, I wouldn't bet the lines themselves. What I would do is sprinkle a little on T. Higgins to have the most yards in the game, because Jamar Chase is plus 200, T. Higgins is plus 500. So you're getting basically double 2-to-1 odds on the Higgs show there. So even if I think it's Chase, it's close enough for me that I don't mind sprinkling a little dough on that Higgins line. Tyler Boyd is plus 1,200. So if you're feeling froggy about Boyd, I mean,
froggy.
Yeah, you could 12x that pup.
And Tyson asking about Tyler Boyd. Why is Boyd getting the ball so much this year? Had him in fantasy last year, and he was terrible. This is Tyler Boyd. You're going to get a couple big games from him. And the Bengals, they may notice a matchup that they like to exploit, and maybe it's in the slot a given week, and they're gonna funnel targets to Tyler Boyd in those games. So you'll get a couple more big games from Tyler Boyd this year, I'm sure. It's frustrating if you're sitting there going, why the hell isn't T. Higgins or Jamar Chase getting the ball? But he's a good player, and the Bengals are going to use him when they like his matchup.
Yeah, and I can tell you that one of the reasons, probably underplayed reason, is that Drew Sample, I believe, he's out, right? He's hurt. I think he just had surgery on his knee. Last year, what would happen is they would use CJ Uzoma, and then they would bring in Drew Sample as the second tight end. And every time you bring in two tight ends, you got to take a wide receiver out of the game. You're not going to take out Chase or Higgins. So you'd have a lot of games where Boyd wasn't playing a full snap share. But since their blocking tight ends banged up, and the rest of those guys, like Mitchell Wilcox, I think they got some other guys over there, but like they're not super interested in running a lot of two tight end sets right now. They don't use a fullback, so it's just three wide receivers all the time. So it kind of is wheels up for Tyler Boyd right now. How's that for a little deep tight end stuff on you?
Wheels up. Tyler Boyd. Who knew that your tight end logic would, or your tight end deep dive research would bring us back to Tyler Boyd?
Sometimes it be like that, because that's the thing, is that tight ends they truly are like the most annoying, especially blocking tight ends, because they come in and they don't do anything for fantasy besides take one of the guys that catch the balls out of the game. Same with fullbacks. They bug me.
Absolutely. I know there were some injury concerns surrounding Joe Mixon, but it looks like he is good to go for this game. Should be good. What's your confidence level with Joe Mixon? This Bengals offensive line has been terrible so far, worse than we thought it was going to be. And Mixon hasn't been like that top 3 back really that some people were drafting him as. Are you concerned for Mixon? He's still an every week start, right?
He is. And that's solely based on the snap share he's playing, which is very large.
Yeah, 71.7% snap share according to Player Profiler, which is 5th highest amongst all running backs.
Doesn't get much higher, and that's why, like, if La'el Collins is playing tonight, I know he's banged up, but if he's playing, that's another line I kind of like to sprinkle a little bit. I don't bet super heavily, but I think Mixon is like plus 500 to score the first touchdown in the game.
I can tell you what that is.
I'm looking at his opportunity metrics here on Player Profiler, and he doesn't have a single one that's outside of the top 10. In fact, most of them are inside of the top 5 at his position. So that's pretty wild.
It's good. What's the line, Sam? Is it
plus 500 for him to be the first touchdown score? Yeah,
first touchdown score. Right. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's a bad line for. 5 times you're getting 5 times, and he's the only guy on the team. Like, so it's instead of trying to thread the needle on which Dolphins running back would get it, if it was a Dolphins running back, you at least just bet that they. Pass interference in the end zone, you win $500, right? Like, that's kind of how it works.
As an anytime touchdown score, he's the only player with minus odds at minus 145. Jamar Chase being the next closest at plus 100 for an anytime touchdown score.
Yeah, I don't think I would bet minus 145. Not getting paid enough for that.
For a touchdown. Know what I mean? Like you're still looking for a touchdown.
It's out of your hands to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, Samaje Perine may come in and steal some of those touchdowns.
No,
over there.
you shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I wonder what the Samaje Perine first touchdown score. That's got to be on here, right?
I bet it's.
Oh, dude, you got to do it now.
Plus 1,200 on Samaje Perine to score the first touchdown. You know what? I can't do that on FanDuel. I'm in Texas, but maybe I can. I would never do something somewhere else though. Working grind.
Sponsor us, FanDuel. Yo, what's the deepest one on here that you would pick first touchdown score?
Not Mike Gesicki.
2 rushing touchdowns up there. How about Alex Ingold plus 5,500 fullback touchdown for the Dolphins?
Plus what? What is it? Plus
5,500. So it's $1,000 to win 5,500. That Alex Ingold punches one in. Powerful.
You know what?
He got one carry. One carry left.
We could go with River Crocraft at plus 3,100. He's done it 2 weeks. He's done it 2 weeks already this season. Maybe he can do it again. Or the other one that stood out to me is Trent Sherfield had a rough week last week. You know what I mean? Taking that ball
butt redemption.
Butt redemption. They're going to let him have a butt touchdown instead of a butt punt this week. They're going to line it up. He's going to run it in.
That would be so good.
I can
get
see
the butt
now.
touchdown.
The butt celebration. The butt punt celebration, dude.
One of his teammates
he tosses it to Tariq Hill, and they do the butt punt.
And then he punts it right into his booty hole again.
Dude, and imagine you win $5,000 and that happens, dude.
Oh, my pants are off. No question about it.
Yeah. There's a football up my butt if that happens.
Like at my house, like making my just going to my fiance, I'm like, no, you have to kick it. You have to.
Yeah, you have to kick.
And I'm explaining it.
She's crying. She's like, why?
Like, okay, look, this was literally my last $100, but it was a guarantee that the guy who got the butt punt was going to score the butt down this week. Like
it's practically an investment at this point.
It's safe money right there.
Yeah,
guys, we're going to talk a little bit more about this Thursday night football game. Lock in your Trent Sherfield butt touchdown bets for tonight. And then we've got our friend Andy Behrens joining the show a little bit later as well. If you're enjoying what we're doing right here and you want to hang out with us some more, head on over to our YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy. Hit that subscribe button. We are live over there multiple times throughout the week, playing games like the ones we do here and talking fantasy football. And then later today, 5 p.m. Eastern time over on the FanDuel YouTube and Twitch, you can hang out with us as we play some more games. We're going to be playing some Fantasy Fortune, a lot like the TV show Wheel of Fortune. So come hang out with us over there. Right now, you're listening to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Better Sports Network. It's sports talk done better.
You can't be happy if you're a fan of Denver right now. I know they're 2-1. They look horrendous, man.
Well, how about this player? I almost put him in, and then last second took him out, figured I'd give him another week. What about Javonte Williams? Would he be a trend down type of player at this point? He's still getting the carries. He's running all right. He's just not scoring. That's the problem. And the big thing is when you look at his production from a total basis, 11 passes week 1? It was a lot.
I think you stay the course with him. I know, again, people are so frustrated. Guys, why are you surprised, man? We all know Javonte Williams is the best player in that backfield. It's clear. But people who play fantasy need to understand and I said this before the year, there are certain players that coaches love. Melvin Gordon is one of those players. Is he as dynamic, explosive? No. But he does a lot of the little things that coaches love. Those guys are going to get their touches. You have to understand that. So should Javonte Williams be the main back? Yeah. And we've started to see it shift a little bit. I know you're frustrated because Gordon got the touchdown, but I don't know why you're surprised by this. They told you this before the year. It was more like 50-50 last year. It's not now. You can't sit here and complain about it. Like, you act like this came out of nowhere. I can't believe Melvin Gordon is playing snaps.
You're not talking about me, are you?
No. Anyone who is sitting there and is just stunned that Javonte Williams is not getting, like, all these snaps. Now, Could it get better as the season goes along and they start to go, you know what? Javante's more explosive. We need him on the field now. I mean, they're 2-1, okay? So that's the problem with some of these teams that win games. They think, oh, we won, so everything is good. But let's look at the snaps. So Javonte Williams played 33. Melvin Gordon played 28. The biggest problem is Mike Boone played 14. That I don't get. Javonte Williams and Gordon each ran 13 routes. Boone, 11. 5 targets for Williams, 6 for Melvin Gordon. Javonte had 15 carries, Gordon 12. Javonte Williams had 20 looks. So he had 15 carries, 5 targets, and he caught 3 passes. So he had 18 touches. You're going to complain about a running back getting 18 touches? Come on, man. He's better than Melvin Gordon, no doubt. But Javante's not getting 35 touches. They had the ball a lot last night. Does it suck that they took him out near the goal line? Absolutely.
Straight eye formation. They hand it up to Gordon, running left. Gordon into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
This is not anything shocking here.
The Playbook with Fensty and Ronis, presented by FantasyAlarm.com.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We got the Grimace gang. Cooper, you actually drinking from that cup today?
Absolutely not. I took a real sip from my real coffee. This thing is from the 80s and it's probably poisonous. That's just a shout out.
Extra flavor.
Yeah, to my two gangs, Pats, Grimace. What up?
Did that say Cleveland under the Pats logo?
Yeah, the Cleveland Pats, dude.
Cleveland Pats.
Cleveland Pats.
Yeah. Send me get those Grimace emojis going in the chat. Those purple boys.
Hit that fun button.
Hit that fun
I don't know
button.
why that kind of thing is always funny to me, but like if that did actually say Cleveland, like things that are just wrong, like are funny. I like that, like that's a funny thing to me. Like if you put like I have a shirt that's the shape of Pennsylvania, but then it says Ohio in it, and it's like my favorite shirt. But it's stupid. But I don't know what about just like things being wrong scratches my little humor itch.
The comedy bang bang of podcasts I really love. They have a shirt that's just a picture of Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it says "The future is female" on it, and it's like their best-selling shirt of all time. And and the thing is with the actual show, there's like not even a good joke from the show that goes with it either. They just one day were like, let's just sell this shirt.
Beautiful. Yeah,
right up your alley, right?
Yeah, nothing matching. It doesn't match with Master Splinter at all. We had a question in here from Hal. He said, I just sent a trade offer. Get Mixon, give Dylan and Dubs. Did I piss the other guy off? So get Mixon, give up Dylan and Dubs. What do you think about this trade offer?
I don't think that's anything to get mad about, right? Like
No.
that guy. Yeah, it depends what you need. Like if that guy is really struggling, then Dylan and Dubs are guys who can start. You know what I mean? Especially if he's a Packers fan or a guy that likes the Packers in general. But I don't think that's anything to get mad about, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think so either. We had another question in here from Tyson. Another Mixon question. Said someone in his league is trying to move Mixon, wants to know if there's someone on his team that he should trade to try to get Mixon. Team right now is Cordero Patterson, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Hunt, and Madison at running back. Then at wide receiver got Chase, Waddle, Lamb, Godwin, and Wilson, and then Waller at tight end. 2 quarterbacks as well, Carr and Herbert. So would you guys be trying to make a move to grab Joe Mixon if this was your team? This is a 10-team or 12-team half PPR league.
Okay. Let's see. Chase, Waddle, Lamb, Godwin. Let's pull up Peakton High School's trade chart here.
Wilson? What Wilson is that?
Garrett Wilson would make sense with like where he is in that list.
The trade chart suggests that if you want to do a straight up trade, it would have to be like Waddle or Lamb. Of which I might.
That makes sense. Given your team, though, I don't know that makes it that much better. Your running backs you have some decent depth. Your wide receivers, they're not bad, but I feel like you have some situations there, right? Like Godwin. Wilson's not going to be an every week guy.
I don't think you need to do that trade, actually. I don't think you should do that trade.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I don't think it makes your team that much better.
This team is great.
Patterson, going off. You know what I mean? I was like looking at the team. I'm like, how'd you get that team? But like, possible. Is this a dynasty team? How did you get Barkley, Dalvin Cook, and Lamb?
Barkley, Rose,
and Chase. 1, 2, 3. Wait, how do you have Chase, Barkley, Cook, and Lamb?
Okay,
maybe some trading. This is a guy obviously who's looking to trade a lot. Know what I mean? Maybe they've already did some early season moves, some early season trades to get some of these guys. You don't need Mixon.
Just settle down. You have like 4
and CeeDee Lamb and Waddle.
Yeah, drafted everyone. Cook.
That's
so the draft went Chase, Lamb, Barkley,
or Chase, Barkley, Lamb.
That makes sense. Barkley was falling to like the 3rd, 4th round for a while.
There it is. Lamb 3rd. Yeah, Tyson. Hey, good job, dude. That's what I would say there. You don't need to trade.
Yeah, great drafting. First of all,
just hang on.
Set yourself up very well.
Hang on to the players you have and win.
Yeah. I would make this trade for Mixon. I don't think it makes your team that much better. It's just sort of
you're good.
A move.
We had a question in here from Tim. Tim says, a friend has a question. Full PPR. Mike Evans for Khalil, Herbert, and CEH. The team apparently is weak at running back. So Mike Evans for Khalil, Herbert, and CEH. What do you guys think about that trade?
Redraft?
I'm assuming so.
Mike Evans for
Khalil, Herbert, and CEH.
CEH, right. Man.
The thing about Mike Evans is I've been like in my mind, I've been treating him like he's hurt, but he's not hurt. He was just suspended. Like he's fine. He's going to be
he'll be back. I'm keeping Mike Evans.
Me too.
Triple Mike Evans. But I guess if you're weak at running back, man, I'd want someone besides CEH. Like I know the points he's been putting up have been good, but whenever you look at his usage, it's not wildly inspiring. Know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem sustainable, the level of fantasy success he's had so far. So I'm not sure that's even addressing your running back problem, getting CEH in there. And then Khalil Herbert, we're hoping that he takes over if you make this move. Like you need a little bit more security, I think, if you're going to trade Mike Evans away.
Anytime there's a game where the running back doesn't lead his team in snaps, my like alarms go off. Right, like Jerick McKinnon played more snaps than CEH last week because he was playing more pass downs, and that scares me.
We had another question in here. This one coming from Adam. Adam saying, what will be the highest scoring game this week? He thinks it's going to be the Eagles versus Jags. Coop, you got to pick a game. Which one are you picking as the highest scoring game?
I would pick the Bills-Ravens game as the one I believe would be the highest scoring.
Oh, I hope so. I hope you're right on that one. Jill, do you have another game that you think is going to be high scoring?
I think the game tonight will be pretty high scoring. The over/under is set at 47.5. Yeah, I think this game could potentially pop off.
That's a good pick, man. Especially with the Dolphins. We just talked about the Dolphins defense playing a lot of snaps, man. When the defense is coming in tired, could be spicy day.
Yeah,
man, this one's a little bit tough.
Can't pick anyone that we've picked.
I know that those are like my top two.
There's one surprise I see on.
You know what? I think I'm going to go with
I know the one you're looking at.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks-Lions game here because I think the Lions are going to be able to score, and I think the Seahawks and Geno Smith will be able to do enough. This goes with the lineup that we built a little bit earlier this week, right? Like that Geno Smith, DK Metcalf stack. I'll take this game as being a surprise high-scoring game since you guys took my first two choices. But
so we just went straight talk. Just pick the top 3 totals on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Wasn't the Browns game a little bit higher than that? Oh, it's dropped. Now I'm looking at it. It was at 49.5. It's now at 47.5. So now it is not the.
I should have came out just like absolute smoke.
Chicago Giants.
Chicago Giants. Yeah. Patriots Packers.
We have had so many 39-point total games.
Way more
this year.
Usual, bro. Yeah, I don't know
right.
What the deal is with that because you rarely see that.
2 this week. Patriots Packers is 39.5 too.
You know what it is?
Missing their quarterback.
Truly, week 1, they just tried to fit all of the good games in there so that they could just do this week 2, week 3, week 4. Maybe like eventually, maybe that first bye week, they'll start giving us some more of like these like star-studded lineups of games on Sunday.
These games are supposed to be this week. The thing is that it's been such a weird season. These are supposed to be amazing games. Like Broncos, Raiders is supposed to be an amazing game. Chiefs, Buccaneers, right? Rams, 49ers. Like these were all supposed to be crazy games. But
Jets, Steelers, supposed to be a crazy game.
Supposed to be. Yeah. And then
Milky Trubisky and Zach Wilson.
Then they took Flacco away from us.
The hash-slinging slasher, just putting him right on the bench. We get nothing from him anymore over there.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we get some surprises. And even bad games are still games. I'm just so glad it's football season. Know what I mean? I will gladly sit on my couch and watch the entire 39.5 point over under Patriots Packers game. Like, I will gladly watch every last second of that one. Guys, we got some fantasy detective for you. I wanted to run through some of these prompts. We're going to play that game. Before we do that, though, Big Mac had one more question. Said, I know it's only week 4, but how would you guys rank CMC, Saquon, Mixon, and Henry rest of season? That is an interesting question. These were 4 of the top guys. Big Mac said, I know it's only week 4, but how would you guys rank CMC, Saquon, Mixon, and Henry rest of season?
I don't want to speak for everyone, but I will. With this CMC quad injury stuff going on, I think we have to have Saquon at 1. Saquon 1, right?
Yeah, Saquon's 1 for me.
Yeah.
Now the question is that injury to CMC spicy enough to move him behind Mixon or Henry? He's coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, so I think I still have CMC next for rest of season.
CMC is the guy that I was thinking of next.
I would go Mixon.
JL.
Sorry, guys.
How dare you?
Sorry, guys.
Well, I think that makes it pretty easy then, because we have 2-1, so we overrule you. But I would also put Mixon. I would also put Mixon 3rd, and then Henry 4th.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coop. Mixon 3rd, Henry 4th.
Would you put Henry?
Let
JL. Would you put Henry over CMC?
Wait. You guys went Saquon then CMC?
Yeah,
we went
Saquon,
CMC, Mixon. You had Saquon, and then you said Mixon, but you didn't say CMC 3rd. Like, would you have CMC over Henry?
I'm sorry, guys. In my head, you guys were saying CEH, and I'm like, no, I can't put Mixon behind CEH.
Dude, the amount of time you thought about Mixon versus CEH in your head was way too long.
That's what I kept hearing. You guys said it a bunch of times, and every single time I heard CEH. It didn't make any sense.
If that's the case, then you thought way too long about that.
Let me rewind. I'm just going to rewind here. All right. Saquon, CMC, Mixon, Henry.
Yeah. Okay. Agreement across the board.
Ooh, yeah. Let's go. So
Joe's looking at us like, you idiots. Like, what the hell are you doing?
I was just confused. I was like, damn, like, we're all in on CEH. Okay. Like, I didn't know that.
I just disparaged him no more than 5 minutes ago. Like, just told Tim not to trade for him. Silk Brown in the chat saying, I think Henry about to go on a run. Not a long run, though.
That's pretty good, Silk Brown.
That's pretty good.
Oh, you got me with that one. And Big Mac said, spicy. Thanks, boys. I don't think we're too spicy right there, right? We're still talking about the best of the best.
I think it's spicy. Maybe he heard CEH over.
Yeah, he heard CEH too.
Yeah. Adam Weber, what up, dude? When did Adam Weber sneak in the chat, dude?
Oh, he's been here.
Has he? I missed him.
We've been answering some Adam questions as well. Guys, we just had some news come in. Per Adam Schefter, this is news to me. An Iron Man streak quietly came to an end Wednesday when Colts running back Jonathan Taylor missed his first football practice due to a toe injury. Until Wednesday, Taylor never missed a practice at Salem High School in New Jersey, at Wisconsin, or with Indianapolis. This is his first football practice he's missed. Like, just ever.
Insane. First of all, that's ridiculous, dude.
What? That's crazy.
Not missing a single practice?
That's absurd. That's truly absurd. We've been doing this show for like 4 weeks, and I've already missed a portion of one just because of poop. Know what I mean? And that's not even playing football. Like this dude's out there, like, poop could do it. An injury could do it. A vacation could do it. He's never missed a single practice.
That's crazy, dude.
That is
kudos
insane.
to him, man. That is awesome. We never had like a dentist appointment or anything.
It's like the attendance award in elementary school. Like, no one cares about it except the kids who have it.
Except for the parents of the kids who have it. It's the parents of the kids who have it that care. And they're always like in the audience, like clapping, like, oh, you did it. You did it. You learned one day more than all these other kids.
You get to hold this piece of paper in your house for many years and not know what to do with it.
I wonder what he was thinking when he like missed his first practice. Like, just sitting there like I could have gone.
He called Kyler up and he was like, yo, what do you do with this time when you're not practicing? Like, how do I download Call of Duty? Like, he just had to get some tips over there.
Points.
We got our friend Andy Behrens joining the show in a little bit. Before that, though, we're going to play some Fantasy Detective. So make sure you're sticking around here on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Front Yard Fantasy with Simon, JL, and Coop.
JL, I think this is the game everyone's been waiting for, and the moment in this game that
Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media on Better Sports Network.
Speaking of TV, last night I tried to watch Aaron Judge.
Did you watch the K-Rod broadcast?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like I went to ESPN Plus and I'm like, I want to watch this K-Rod thing because they had Roger Clemens and they had Barry Bonds on. Bonds brought up when Clemens hit him on his piece of armor. And Clemens was like, "Oh, it was a strike, man. It was a strike."
No,
like,
Clemens was like, if you wear, and I don't blame Clemens, if you wear that thing, right, that piece of armor, and you on top of the plate like that, target practice. I'm gonna see if I can hit that joint.
And he was, I mean, Clemens, it was a strike. Get off the plate is basically what he said.
Yeah, exactly. Get off the plate.
Can you imagine the three of them? Like you're Michael Kay, and you're sitting there with Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez,
and Roger.
Three guys who should be in the Hall of Fame and are not. Like who should have been like first ballot slam dunk Hall of Famers.
That's the problem with the game.
We should get them on the show. All three of them together on this show.
That'd be cool. Corey, Nando, and Friends. They're the friends.
They're the friends. I mean, why not, right? They seem like nice guys.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
I started watching the Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix last night, which I knew a
Oh,
lot.
that looks pretty freaky, man. Is it as frightening and kind of eerie as it looks?
Yeah, it's disturbing. Like, you know, there's no.
You think? He ate people, Ray. It better be disturbing
well,
to you.
I know the story. He ate people and murders. I knew, but I didn't know he was drunk all the time. And
well, Ray, I mean, we've all been there. You get the munchies when you're drunk. That would be actually a defense in court. Your Honor, I was drunk the whole time. I was hungry and I needed food and my neighbor was there. Right. What am I supposed to do?
And he had like beer cans all over his place. There was a lot of Miller and Bud. I guess he was not only was he a person of opportunity with the killings, he was a beer drinker of opportunity. Because I don't think you normally do one and the other. You should do one or the other.
I don't want to tell AB or Miller how to do their business, but don't go marketing that Jeffrey Dahmer loves your beer while he was eating kidneys.
Welcome back in, everyone, to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. I saw an interesting comment over in our YouTube chat while we were on break. Adam Weber said, Boomer Esiason thinks Barkley could be traded to the Bills before the end of the trade deadline. Thoughts on a Bills super team? He did say it on the show with Kay Adams yesterday. Boomer said that out loud, that he thinks Barkley could be traded to the Bills. One, is this a possibility? Like, before we get too much into it, do you think this could actually happen? And two, what would that look like on the Buffalo Bills? Saquon Barkley added to that offense?
It'd be terrifying for everyone, especially if he would sign an extension long-term there for me and my Patriots. That would be bad for business. It would also be bad for the places where I drafted James Cook in Dynasty. That said, as an unbiased observer, let me put on my Grimace Cup. That team would be awesome. And that would be a lot of fun to watch, would it not?
Oh my God, that would be so exciting. Yeah. Put Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley. Like, that's a squad right there. That's a squad stepping out there on the field. And I mean, the Giants did spend a number 2 overall draft pick on Saquon Barkley, right? Which is a weird thing for a rebuilding team to do. Maybe they didn't view themselves as rebuilding, but now, like, Saquon's not going to win them a Super Bowl anytime soon. Like, this might make sense for them if they can get a decent draft pick out of Buffalo to like cash in. Know what I mean? Like, return value on that high draft pick that they used on Saquon Barkley. Like, my first reaction when I read this was, this is insane. This is crazy. But the more I think about it, like, it might make sense. It might make sense for the Giants.
I mean, Saquon Barkley, like, I don't dislike that pick because everything that I've ever heard Saquon Barkley has said has been not only exactly what you want to hear, but a bunch of it could go on like a motivational poster that you put on like a gym locker room. Like, this dude says all the right things. He always talking about legacy. When they ask him what he'd be doing if he wasn't playing football, he's like, I'd be doing what you're doing. He's like, after I'm done, I'm going to do what you're doing. He's like, cause you can only play football for so long, but you can talk about it for forever. Like, he says he's like a huge football nerd. He loves football, loves the game, cares about his legacy, cares about the team. Like, the exact kind of guy that you would want to draft there. You know what I mean? A guy that I think will play for a long time, in my opinion, unless, injuries continue to pile up. Like, I would love to have Saquon Barkley on my team. And I would take him that high because he's got the right attitude, man. Saquon Barkley's a star.
So maybe, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Saquon Barkley just as a person. I was as a football fan, I was like excited that the Giants took Saquon Barkley when they did. My fiance Maria and her family are big Giants fans, so it's just exciting to be like, oh yeah, like this guy who we really like, who's incredibly talented, just fun to watch, is on this team. From a football strategy perspective, it doesn't make any sense really, but and Simon alluded to it. It felt like I can't remember the coach's name at the time. It's escaping me, but it felt like he was straddling a fence, right? Like he couldn't decide whether he wanted to rebuild or not. They were making moves that really contradicted each other, and I could see why this trade would be enticing, right? That I don't think the Giants are under any illusion that they're going to be contenders this year. So why continue to keep a 25-year-old running back, 26-year-old running back, however old he is?
You make 25. A good point, Joe, that sometimes front offices and coaches make those picks to cling to their job. Like Matt Patricia selecting DeAndre Swift, I think was 100% that exact same move. It was like, we are in huge trouble. Let's go out and get like whatever we can.
Someone who's going to sell jerseys.
Yeah. Somebody get this offense going that we can lean on and maybe keep our jobs longer. So I think you're right, JL. From that standpoint, it didn't necessarily make sense, but like the player is awesome. And only 50% of first round picks hit. So if you can get a guy that you truly believe in, just get him.
Yeah. Just get him. And Jay saying, as a Giants fan, I'm all for it. He's ready for that tank.
It just didn't make sense because they had so many other holes on the team.
Right.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like that. Yeah. Like quarterback, like offensive line, like defense, like every hole that could be there was
wide
there.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking a little rough there in New York right now. But that would just be like, I'm now pulling for that. That was something I didn't know I wanted to happen, but I want to see this Bills super team with Saquon Barkley on it. Like, oh my God, they'll have to put that game on. Like, it doesn't matter what network you're in watching this game, right? Like the Bills games, if they had Saquon Barkley, are going to be on in every single network. Like, they'll put it on over your local team if you're in Houston. Like, what do you want to watch? Davis Mills if you're a Texans fan? No. You want to watch Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, and Stephon Diggs on the same team.
Looking back at that draft, the guy that went 1 was Baker Mayfield, and then they took Saquon at 2, and the guy that went 3 was Sam Darnold. So they kind of pulled a little matrix bullet dodge there. But they could have also gotten Josh Allen or Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen was in that same draft class, right?
One of 4 hit, but he hit in a monster way.
Also, Jay saying they should have traded back. And Jay cracking me up. He came in here and said the Commanders' black unis are hideous. And I said, wow, I just realized I was an hour behind. And then he's all back in, jumping into the conversation right here. But Jay's just having a conversation with himself about alternate uniforms from earlier in the show.
That's hilarious.
98% of, what was it, like 88% of Twitter agrees with that take, by the way.
Tyson in here asked, any big trades you guys foresee upcoming? Heard Galladay to the Bucks. Are there any trades you think are coming up soon? Any players that you view as potential trades before this trade deadline hits?
It's a good question. I think the Giants are rightfully in this conversation, right? With the Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay. It seems like they're going to lean heavy into at least a partial rebuild here and try and build this team from the ground up. And I think that makes sense. That's what I would do.
A player we mentioned earlier, I could see a team. If the Dolphins have an injury at some point and have a hole in their roster, I could see them potentially trading Mike Gesicki to fill that hole if they're not using him, right? Like, there are teams that would take that dude and would use him as like a big slot, run like a kind of Chan Gailey style offense, whereas the Dolphins clearly, have decided they don't want to do that. So I could see him being a trade candidate.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. I guess maybe Denzel Mims is a player that could be traded. Like, I'm trying to think maybe some draft capital into a player that isn't being used right now. Because he's what, like at best 4th on that depth chart behind Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and Garrett Wilson.
Keith with an interesting one. Rams reunite Matt Stafford with Kenny Galladay. I mean, Kenny Galladay had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns with Stafford. I mean, did he forget how to play football? I don't think so. I mean, maybe he just is one of those. Maybe he's pulling a Randy Moss on the Raiders, and he's just like, whatever. And then he goes to play with, Randy Moss went to play with Tom Brady. He had 23 touchdowns. Kenny Golladay could just be like, I don't care. He could be pulling an Allen Robinson, but then they would have two Allen Robinsons.
I think it's likely this hip injury has really hindered what he's able to do, at least in the short term. I think it's probably a combination of that mixed with the cultural stuff that you're talking about, Coop, because we just haven't. I don't know that it's just that he lost Matthew Stafford, because that team wasn't great, and I think Daniel Jones is good enough that we should see Kenny Golladay doing things. So he should still be involved, even if he doesn't have that same rapport with him.
We had another question in the chat over here. Brendan wants to know, do you guys like Giants, Rams, or Colts DST this week? I have very few options. The Giants going up against the Chicago Bears. We've got the Rams against the 49ers on Monday night, and the Colts are playing against the Tennessee Titans. So which of these defenses would you guys prefer? Is it the Rams, is it the Colts, or is it the Giants?
It's Rams for me. Rams for me against San Francisco.
The Colts schedule, now that the Jaguars are good, all of a sudden isn't as good of a schedule as it once seemed to be. The Colts schedule actually now kind of sucks. So I think I agree with the Rams, but you wouldn't get cute, JL, and start whoever's playing the Bears.
That was one of them was Giants.
The Giants is the other one. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't get cute and start the Giants.
The thing with the Giants is that you immediately have to drop them. You're not going to start them against the Packers in Green Bay the next week.
Unless
that game in London?
You got balls of steel, you could start them against the Packers in Green Bay.
Is that in Green Bay or is that in London? I think that might actually be another London game.
Might be in France.
Ooh, French game? If a game wasn't French, would that have any effect on your thoughts?
No, the Giants-Packers game is in London. It is a London game next Sunday, Giants-Packers. Does that change your mind?
A little bit, yeah. No, actually, no. I'm not going to start the Giants defense against the Packers. No. If you start the Giants, then you need to have the same question next week. Who are the Rams playing next week? Do we know anything about?
We don't know a single thing.
They're playing the Cowboys with Dak Prescott back.
You know what? We've completely ignored the Colts, but the Colts should have Shaq Leonard back this week. I saw Lucius mentioning that in the chat. I don't think the Colts are a bad option either. It's not like the Titans have been beating the socks off of opponents this year, right? The Titans have looked susceptible against a good defense, and if they've got Shaq Leonard back, I think you could start them. And then the following week for the Indianapolis Colts, they've got the Titans this week, and they play the Broncos the following week on Thursday night. So, I kind of like the Colts against the Titans this week, and then they've got the Broncos on Thursday night of next week. That's not bad.
And then, then they have the Titans coming up again. So if they do well against the Titans, you can kind of ride with it a bit. But they don't have a bye week until week 14. So if you just want to be lazy, go with the Colts and just start them forever.
Well, and then after that, this is a pretty good schedule. Then Commanders, then Patriots, right? So, that could be a lot worse. You got Titans, Broncos, Jaguars, Titans, Commanders, Patriots is the next 6 games.
Jags smoked them last time, though.
Yeah, I forgot about the 24-0 Jag. I keep forgetting the Jags are good. It just seems like you see it on there and you're like, oh, yeah, Jags.
That's what I mean. That's what I was just saying. I was like, the schedule's not as cool now that the Jags are good. Or maybe they're not good, and Shaq Leonard being out might matter. Either way, I'm starting the Giants against the Bears. Bears suck.
The Bears. Yeah, it hurts my feelings how bad the Bears suck. I really thought they were going to turn it around a little bit this year. Excuse me. We had one more question in here. It says, hello, guys. Tough question.
Hello.
Need a RB2 option. Hello. ETN and Edmonds are the choices. So Travis Etienne or Chase Edmonds into night's game. JL, which of those two players would you be starting this weekend?
Oh, this is easy for me. I'm going Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne against Philadelphia. We were just talking about the Miami backfield a little earlier. I don't really want to trust that. Etienne has not performed the way that we would have hoped coming into the season. But I'm hoping that this Philadelphia defense, they have a very good secondary. I'm hoping they're able to make it difficult for the Jaguars to move in the passing game and hopefully lean on Travis Etienne a little more.
Yeah. Travis Etienne pretty consistently gets at least a couple targets,
Yeah.
You can count on that in full PPR. So I'd do that.
Yeah, I think I'm throwing Etienne in there as well. But like it's not a huge gap between the two for me. Like I think this one's super close. I just ever so slightly lean ETN in this one. Brendan down here saying if the Jags do decent against the Eagles this week, their DST might be a sleeper for rest of season. Do you have any interest in this Jaguars defense? JL, I feel like you've talked them up a little bit on this show already this week.
The defense has looked fantastic. Yeah,
it has, but like you're not going to start them against the Eagles. And what are you going to do? Stash 2 defenses or just put them on your watch list and look at them extra closely? Like it's just, I don't know. Like you can't hold 2. If you can hold 2 defenses and do it, but you're not going to start them against the Eagles this week. Can't do it. And Dustin, I see you in the chat. I'm torn between getting the fun button to 100 or leaving it at 69. The answer is always smash that fun button.
Smash that fun button.
Mush it.
If there's any rule that tells you shouldn't push it again, that's a bad rule and should be thrown out the window.
The fact that it's not at 100 is kind of it makes me sad. Makes me.
We're gonna go silent until it's at 300, and just everyone can sit here and stare at
JL will sing a song until we hit 100. JL, please.
Coop, you're my favorite.
Oh, did we hit 100? That's incredible, guys. We're gonna move into our game. We're gonna move into our game of fantasy detectives. How this game works is I'm going to read to you some clues describing a player. I'll give you one clue at a time. If you guys want to guess who you think the player is, let me know. If you don't know or you guess wrong, we will move on to our next clue. Give you a little bit more information. First one to get it right will be the winner of that point. We'll see who can gather up the most points. You guys ready? Here we go. Here is your first one, your first fantasy detective. I'm a running back and had a 40 time of 4.64.
Who's going first?
Pretty standard.
You are, JL.
I'm going first. Okay. What was the time again?
4.64.
It's too high for Saquon. I think
I'm
faster than
minimize your chat, JL.
Okay. Hold on. Minimized.
I minimize as well.
All right. Let's go with you know what? Let's go with Nick Chubb.
Coop, you got a guess?
Yeah, 4.64 is not super fast. Not crazy slow either, but I will go with Dameon Pierce.
It was not Dameon Pierce. This player, your next clue. I had 100 rushing yards in week 3.
100 rushing yards?
On the dot?
That's what I'm confirming right now. As soon as I read that, I was like, one of these guys is going to ask if it was on the dot. Yes, on the dot, 100 rushing yards in week 3.
Najee Harris?
It is not Najee Harris. Coop?
On the dot.
Also, Dustin with an update said got it to 200. You the man, Dustin.
Woo!
Oh boy. There you go. On the dot, 100 yards rushing. Was it Cam Akers?
It was not Cam Akers. Here's one more clue. I was an undrafted free agent.
Oh, I know it is now. God
wait,
I almost guessed this too.
JL, you got first guess.
Why?
James Robinson?
Fuck, it is James Robinson.
It is James Robinson, JL. That is 100% correct, and you are getting the point.
Did he go to the combine?
I almost guessed it. Well, that's why I didn't guess it. That's why I didn't guess it. Because I was like, I didn't think he went to the combine.
And then I was like, I don't think he went to the combine, so he probably didn't run the 40.
Wow. I never said at the combine. I just said ran a 4.64. It was probably at his pro day.
Oh my!
They run 40s. There's
God.
Wait.
You run 40s.
Why are you guys acting ridiculous? There's 40s that they run at the pro day, and they use those times for players that didn't go to the combine.
Yeah.
I didn't even write this. Keith wrote it. I'm just thinking JL's being a little ridiculous.
Keith, you will hear from the Detectives Union after this.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I got Keith's back here. Like, not everyone goes to the combine, but they still have 40 times, and they get those from other sources. Like,
well, good luck, Keith, because time poops a lot, so your back's going to be unprotected a lot.
I guess everyone technically has a 40 time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sometimes implied.
Good technicality. Next question. Yeah. We'll both get points for that.
No, just JL's getting a point for that one. And in fact, I'm tempted to take all the points away. Coop, you are guessing first on this
take them all
one.
away.
Take them all away.
Here is your first clue, Coop. This tight end loves Panda Express.
A tight end that loves Panda Express. I see. I don't know this piece of trivia. But tight ends are usually my forte. Loves Panda Express. Is it CJ Uzomah?
It is not CJ Uzomah. Dale, do you have a guess for this one?
Let's see. Loves Panda Express. Let's go with Darren Waller.
It is not Darren
I felt
Waller.
like a good guess.
It did feel like a good guess. He seems like a Panda Express kind of guy.
Yeah.
He does.
Next clue. You ready for it, Coop? Yeah. Here we go. This tight end had 5 targets in week 3.
Do I go first every time?
Yeah, you go first
On
every
this one,
time.
yeah.
Joe went first every time on the last one. We'll keep you up first on this one.
5 targets, likes Panda Express.
What you thinking, Coop?
Got my
Who's the
guess.
guy?
Is it?
Just
Is it?
staring off into
I'm trying to
mouth
think.
open stare.
The Panda Express thing has me rattled, dude. It has me absolutely rattled. Is it Hayden Hurst?
It is not Hayden Hurst,
Bonk.
Coop. Bonk.
Bonk.
Dale,
No.
it's your turn to get meat bonked unless you can pull this one out of nowhere.
I would like to guess George Kittle.
It is George Kittle,
Oh,
Dale. George
oh.
Kittle is the correct answer. He
Like, 5
loves
targets
Panda
sounds about
Express.
right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And he had
I was trying to
5
think like
targets.
who is even outspoken enough that we would know he likes Panda Express. And
That's a
George
good-
Kittle
yeah.
is that kind
Not
of
Cole
dude.
Kmet. That guy hasn't said a word.
No one's asking him anything.
No.
Has anyone heard him speak? Does anyone know if he can?
I don't think he can.
He's on a vow of silence until he gets a touchdown. Another one. Until he gets a touchdown, Cole Kmet is not speaking.
Someone added him to like a Twitter DM group chat last season. He never talked in it though. I don't know why.
They just got him in there.
They just added him. Yeah.
Did you see Panda Express has an orange chicken sandwich now? Like they wanted to
Yeah.
get in on the sandwich, the chicken sandwich game. Like all the fast food places have like a chicken sandwich off now. And Panda Express said, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. And they made an orange chicken sandwich. It looks terrible. It looks just disgusting. And maybe that's because I hate Panda Express. Sorry, George. But man, that sandwich looks like the nastiest of all the fast food chicken sandwiches. I'm not eating it.
Oh,
You said it looks dope.
yeah, dude. Kind of does, dude.
It's just like some like Minute Maid orange juice dumped over a chicken breast and put on a bun with mayonnaise and pickles. And they're like,
You
"Here's
gotta
your
eat that.
sandwich."
You gotta eat that immediately though, because that thing looks pretty wet. You can't be bringing that. You can't be
So
bringing
wet.
that back to the house, brother. You got to be taking that down at the Express. You got to take that down Express style.
You said that thing looks wet.
That thing is moist. Look at
Jail.
that.
The score is now 2-1 after that one. And you're going to go first on this next question. You ready for our next fantasy detective?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. This is your first clue. I'm a wide receiver who was selected in the 6th round of the NFL draft.
6th round wide receiver. Stephon Diggs.
Not Stephon Diggs. Coop, you
Fifth
got a
round.
guess?
In the 6th round of the NFL draft, there's not a lot of those guys in the league here. Is it Greg Dortch?
It is not Greg Dortch.
He's
Your next clue is the most receiving yards I've had in a single season is 786.
786.
When I see the guesses coming in the chat, keep your guesses coming, guys. Coop and JL have those windows closed
Yeah, we have 'em
anyway,
shut.
so you can guess away. And you can say mean things about them too. Keith will remove all really mean things before they get back in there, so don't worry.
I'm really bad at draft rounds.
Usually I'm
just
good
don't
at
remember
this,
them.
but
6th round, 700 yards is the most I've ever
786.
gotten. 786.
which is a lot for a 6th round pick, honestly.
Man, all right. I'll go with I don't even know. I don't even have a name for you.
Just name a name.
Let's go with I can't. I'm broken. Let's go with Chase Claypool.
It is not Chase Claypool. Coop, you got a guess for us?
I do. It's is it Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
It is not Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Your next clue is I have 19 receptions on the season so far, but I have only started one game. They've only been a starter for one game, but they have 19 receptions on the season so far.
And he has a single season with over 700 yards.
Yes, and JL has the first guess, right? Yeah, because this is round 3. JL, you got a guess for us?
Let's go with let's go with that can't be right. No. Let's go with Robert Woods.
It is not Robert Woods. Coop, you got a guess?
Is it how many receptions on the season again?
19.
19, dude. As a 6th-round pick too. Jeepers, crow. Yeah.
Damn, Keith.
Dang, Keith.
Dang, Keith. Is the chat got it yet?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Someone in the chat has figured it out.
Really?
Yep. There's a bunch of answers in there, but someone's got it.
One of you.
Coop, what do you think?
Is it Noah Brown?
It is not Noah Brown. I'm going to give you guys one more clue. I am on a new team this year, but in the same division.
The old swoopty swoop.
New team, same division.
Who's going first on this one?
You. It's still your turn. We're still on that same third one.
Oh, it's still me. Okay. Shoot. Let's go with. No, that's not right. I don't know. Same division. This is tough, man. Who's on a new team in the same division? I'm just gonna seem dumb because I don't know.
You can pass if you want to pass. If you want to pass.
I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass.
You don't want to pass. Let's go with Zay Jones.
It is not Zay Jones. Coop, you got a guess or no?
I do have a guess. I'm just thinking of it over the course of the next 10 minutes.
I'm gonna kill you guys.
It's hard. It's hard. Give us one more hint.
Don't make them so hard next time.
The chat doesn't seem to be having any trouble with this one.
They're cheating. They're cheating.
The chat has Google.
Is it?
I'm gonna make you guys skip if you just sit there in silence.
You might have to.
I'm gonna.
You might have to.
like that.
Neither of us wants to lose. We're too.
You guys are both just like, I will ruin this show to win this game.
The 6th-round pick is what makes it so hard.
So I'm gonna run through the clues one more time.
Give us a division. I
was a 6th-round pick. I was a wide receiver selected in the 6th round. The most receiving yards I had in a single season is 786. I have 19 receptions on the season, but I only started one game. And I am on a new team, but still in.
It's Jamison Crowder. It's Jamison Crowder.
It is not Jamison Crowder. I just gave you the division. I am on a new team, but still in the NFC South.
NFC South.
Oh, no.
Oh, I got it. It's Russell Gage.
It's Russell Gage, just in time, Coop. I was bringing our friend Andy Behrens up here on the stage to help you guys out if you could
put us out of our misery.
Right exactly. What's up, Andy?
That was an easy one, dude. That was an easy one.
How much of this show is just JL in silent contemplation like that? Wow, that's
about 80%. Yeah, 80 to 40% around.
No, our competitive drive goes up our desire to be entertaining. But
Perfect time to come in. Thank you.
Andy,
for
thank you
saving
so
us
much
from
for
ourselves.
joining us today, my man. Always a pleasure getting to
Good to
talk
see you,
with
my
you.
man.
It's great to see you guys. You guys are doing awesome stuff.
Andy, you've been running around trying to make people fight people anymore. That as soon as I found out you were coming on here, the entire time we were in Detroit, every time I walked up to Andy at this conference, he'd be like, "Oh, you gonna fight that dude? Like the biggest dude here, the former MMA fighter, the guy, not former, he left for like MMA practice while we were at the event. He's like, you fight this dude later, son."
No better way to make a statement. No better way to establish yourself in the industry than to take down the biggest guy in the room.
Yeah, show your physical dominance. That's how you earn respect here.
Yeah, that's why at the expo I beat up Mike Fiala.
Yeah, he had it coming. He had it coming.
Yeah, I had to though, because it was my first expo. I had to establish myself.
That's how all the greats rose to prominence. That's how Funston did it. That's how Brad Evans did it. That's certainly how Matt Berry did it.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you seen him?
Scrapper.
It's how Scott Fish did it.
Yeah, Scott Fish is a biter. Yeah.
One time Jalen and I asked Matthew Berry if he'd join us in a race, and he said, "Oh, I'd win because I'd cut your ACLs." Like he immediately said, "Oh, I'm cheating." Like do not even worry about it. I'm cheating in this race.
Yep.
It's a ruthless industry, folks.
Scott Fish said, Scott Fish is in the chat said, "Please let Andy know he's in my top 10 for fake judges, but is still one spot below the judge from my cousin Vinny."
It's fair. It's fair. I just want to be on the list somewhere. Oh man, I've got the wig downstairs. If you want to break, and I can go grab it.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got it.
JL silently contemplate while you go get it.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Our fans love watching JL think about 6-round picks.
We tried to mix it up today a little bit with some Coop contemplation as well, but it just doesn't have the same market success rate as JL contemplation does. Like there's something about that face,
open mouth stare.
I don't have as much.
The best thing is that the payoff was just the name Russell Gage.
Yeah, and I didn't even get to it.
Right? The chat. I opened the chat after they had known it for 10 minutes already, so they didn't care. They were like, okay.
We got Hal in the chat saying, "JL, if you're good at it, just do it." #contemplative. Absolutely. Andy, as much as I want to continue talking about JL's contemplative face, we probably should talk. I mean, we got some other topics. We'll see what happens after 10 minutes with Andy. We might get some Front Yard Fantasy fan fiction in here. But before we do that, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some players that have been disappointing so far through the start of this season. And one of them that got brought up not long ago, we were asked to rank rest of season CMC, Saquon, Mixon, and Derrick Henry. And unanimously, we put Derrick Henry 4th on that list. And I do think he's had a disappointing start to the season. What do you think we can prescribe that slow start to? And are there better days ahead for the King?
Yeah, I feel like one of the situations with Derrick Henry, and it's probably not the only situation, is that you're kind of seeing why the league's best receivers are getting these contracts, right? Like that's a little bit of it. There's nothing else and not that Derrick Henry wasn't the centerpiece of the offense before, but there's nothing else to worry about now. Like whatever Burks might become, he's not there yet. Robert Woods has never been an AJ Brown level talent, right? Like they're just lacking something that was absolutely critical to what they did previously, and lacking a weapon. Like the idea of being able to get into a playoff game and just decide, you know what, we're going to build the entire offense around AJ Brown for a half here, and he's going to get unlimited targets, and you're not going to be able to stop him, right? Like that's a big absence. I actually, of the 4 names that you came up with there, I'm probably a little bit more worried about Joe Mixon, who I don't know if he's nursing an injury. I don't know what's going on, because Joe Mixon has been one of my actual favorite running backs to watch over the course of his career. I think for somebody who's been, I don't want to say written off by people, but I don't think people necessarily recognize how special Joe Mixon has been over the course of his career. Like that guy, even when he wasn't having the most efficient seasons, was, he'd make 2 guys miss in the backfield. He had some of the most miraculous 3-yard gains that you could see. He's really struggling this year. Like he's not forcing missed tackles. He's obviously, it's there in the surface level stats, right? I think he's averaging something like 2.8 yards per carry. But that guy used to be like a missed tackle machine. That just hasn't been there. Big plays haven't been there. I know that they said that he picked up some sort of ankle injury last week, and maybe that was the issue with Samaje Perine coming on late. But I also just kind of think that they like Samaje Perine's, kind of no nonsense, no frills, just get north-south style. Like, I think that was maybe an actual coaching decision. So I think we're going to see a little bit more Perine. I don't know. Mixon hasn't been good.
No, and he was my RB3 coming into the season. Like, I was hyped. I was buying into that this O-line would be a little bit improved, but it's not looking that way. I'm concerned as well. I want better days ahead from him.
By the way, I shared your article, Andy, your recent article on your early disappointment so far. And Scott Fish chiming in with commentary, classic Scott Fish commentary. Neither Simon nor JL made the list of Andy's early disappointments. Curious.
Would you like to elaborate? It goes without saying, like, certain things are assumed. Right?
Sky is blue.
Now that you've been on the show, you have content for next article, though.
So based on that comment, I'm assuming Coop did make the list, right? I did see Coop's name in there.
Yeah, he's a sleeper.
But I just hit that Russell Gage pick, so I'm probably moving up the rankings, right? Like, kind of nailed that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let us know what our rostership percentage is on Yahoo.
Gosh, yeah. Well, Simon was actually, featured in a lot of the preseason content. So Simon's at like 12%, 14%.
That's pretty good.
There we go. Yeah. It's the shirtless under the jean jacket in the profile picture. Since that's my picture on the fantasy app, people just draft me once it gets to a certain
strap.
They're like, I could take Zay Jones, or I could grab this shirtless, chubby white dude in a jean jacket. Like, that's what I'm gonna go with. Looks like Hunter Renfrow, but never lifted a weight in his life, is what we got going on.
Cole Beasley in you.
Do not pick him off the show right now. I'm just kidding.
Mods.
I mean, I feel like we could just switch out that headshot on Yahoo and nobody would notice.
The one where he's missing the tooth. I think.
Yeah. Now call JL Kirk Cousins. Now tell JL he looks like Kirk Cousins, and then just like work down this line slowly of like insulting us based on our least favorite player.
That's good content.
Good content.
No, do you think there are better days ahead for Joe Mixon, or is this one that, like, if you have him, are you trying to trade, sell at this point?
The days can't get much worse, right? He's not even averaging 3 yards per carry, so there better be better days ahead. He's tonight he gets a defense that's actually been pretty generous, like for a 3-0 team, for a team that has a lot of excitement around it. Miami's given up 6.3 yards per play, I think it is. Like, that's not a great defense. Like, there should be some opportunities for Mixon here. And I would also think that, maybe this is me just stubbornly sticking to an opinion that I held in the preseason, but I can't believe the Cincinnati offensive line isn't going to be better than this. They threw a lot of money at it. They made some good choices. I thought they were a team that did the right things, right? They had one glaring weakness, and it seemed like they addressed it. And now Joe Burrow's just getting pummeled, and Joe Mixon can't find any room to run. But these are, like, it should be better. And so I would imagine that is going to be better for the entire offense. So there must be better days ahead for Joe Mixon, again, because they can't get worse. I don't think you can take him to the trade market, right? You don't have anything to sell right now, right? Like, he's not done anything well, unless you can find somebody who is still committed to whatever their preseason rank was on Mixon. And listen, I think RB3 wasn't crazy. Because he was in a ripe situation, nobody necessarily challenging him for touches, better offensive line. Like, I understand the story. I think Joe Mixon's a really good player. But I don't think you have anything to take to the trade market right now.
It's supposed to be like the Todd Gurley, where, like, he had the yards after contact. You go get Andrew Whitworth, and now all of a sudden it's like you got this guy who's a force. And La'el Collins supposed to be that dude. I'm not even sure he's going to play tonight, which that's a real shame if he doesn't. But that was supposed to be it, because La'el Collins, I mean, PFF had him run blocking top 3, 3-4 last year, man. Like, he was supposed to be the savior. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he goes tonight, and we get a little bit of that Joe Mixon from last year, who was top 3 in rushing.
We did get some, like, really interesting analysis on the Bengals earlier from our friend Tim. He said Bengals poopy doo-doo, I believe is exactly what he said about them.
What do you think about
this game? So
I don't use poopy doo-doo anymore. I use adjusted poopy doo-doo plus.
Okay, yeah, of course.
But I'm a stats guy. I'm an analytics guy.
Stats nerd. Stats nerd. X doo-doo.
A doo-doo doesn't even know it. How embarrassing.
Instead of Whopper, it's like Pooper, right? It's good.
Average depth of poopy.
Average depth.
Pretty smart stuff on the show.
But that's me. I pay for the premium stats.
Exactly. That's behind the paywall, right?
It's the deep paywall. It's the expensive paywall.
Yeah, perfect.
Andy, another early season disappointment, and this one I'm praying you can give me something to be hopeful for here, like just anything, like just a morsel of hope, and that is the Justin Fields-led Chicago Bears offense. I was all in on Darnell Mooney this year, taking that step forward, a new coaching staff. They're going to start using Justin Fields properly. We're going to see these receivers who were heavily targeted last year all of a sudden maybe have an up in efficiency, and instead we've seen 28 pass attempts total from Justin Fields so far this year, and an offense that looks like it can't even move the ball, period.
I mean, this is wild. Like, obviously I'm a Bears fan. I mean, shoot, I'm wearing the Iowa sweatshirt. So, like, think about my life. I'm watching Iowa football on Saturdays, and then I transition right into the Bears on Sundays. Like, how much worse does it get from just
You doing okay, Andy?
No. Okay. I'm rooting for, like, 11 to 8 games. Like, those are my teams.
That's my life now.
It's horrible. Like the Bears are totally just absolutely on an island in terms of the way that they're playing. And I'd sort of written off week 1 as, this is a monsoon, terrible conditions. Of course, they only threw the ball, whatever it was, 17 times in that game. And then they haven't even matched that total. Like they're averaging 15 pass attempts per game. I would say that this is like a 1970s offense they're running, because they're basically at like 35 rush attempts per game, 15 pass attempts per game. But then I went and looked at what the Bears were in the 70s, and they were throwing the ball 22 times a game. Like, we're not even close to that. This is not even like a 1976, 1977 offense. They had Walter frickin' Payton running for 1,800 yards, and they were still throwing the ball 24 times a game, right? Like, we've never been in this situation. In my lifetime, the Bears have not been this run heavy, which is a ridiculous thing to say, right? Like, they're just not letting him throw. They're getting in 3rd and long in winnable games, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to run the ball and pick up 6 yards and punt. Like, that's what my college team does. I don't need my pro team to do that same thing. So it's been really frustrating. I haven't seen anything that tells me this is going to change. And the other thing is they're running the ball really well. They're like 2nd or 3rd in the league in rushing right now. Khalil Herbert's been really good. Nobody actually on volume is gaining more yards after contact per attempt than Khalil Herbert. He's been great. I think like this week upcoming against a Giants defense that just gave up big weeks to 2 Dallas backs, I think this is going to be a good spot for Herbert. It's not going to surprise me if he's top 5. He's good. But you can't, obviously you can't beat good teams doing this. You can't throw the ball 15 times a game. And I don't have a lot of hope here, because I don't think Cole Kmet is good. I think the whole argument for Cole Kmet was about his potential for volume, right? It was about targets, and it surely can't be as bad as it was last year on so many targets. But I don't think he's that great. Like, he's not a guy who he just doesn't catch everything that's thrown his way. Like, he gets easy opportunities and his hands don't work, and he's not spectacular in contested situations necessarily. So Kmet, I've kind of written off. Mooney is the one guy that I still have a little bit of hope for, only because he's delivered good seasons and good moments in otherwise terrible circumstances, right? Like, he's survived like a Trubisky Foles-led offense and still had 1,000 yards. Like, surely there's something there. I don't think he's one of the, I don't think he's a traditional sort of alpha receiver, but I certainly think he's good enough to, have some moments this year. But they can't just throw the ball 15 or 20 times a game. Like, that's just not how the modern game is played anywhere in any league at any level.
As a big tight end guy, I will say one thing about Cole Kmet. He's messing up my spreadsheets, man. Why is he running 78% of the routes? And he's got, his target, he's got 5 targets, but it's like a 12% target share because they only throw 40 times.
Yes.
I'm like, he's like, too much green on this spreadsheet for what he's actually
it's funny. I was just talking about this with Harmon. Like, I hate talking about target share with the Bears because a single throw a single throw, and it's
way too small. Yeah,
it all
exactly.
flips, yeah.
Sample size. These
we don't usually have sample size issues with targets, right? Like it's
They're
crazy.
usually like somewhat uniform, like normally distributed across the league.
Get him out of here, dude. Yeah, so he's what is it? I think I have him. He's 6th in routes run per dropback, and he has 2 receptions. So like, I don't even know what to do with. I might just delete his row. Just
get rid of him.
He's messing up the color coding over here.
I like the way Twitter erupts when he just gets a target, right? Like people get so excited when Cole Kmet gets a freaking target. Yeah, it's bad. I don't have a whole lot of hope. I think even with Mooney, I think you can sort of adjust your optimistic expectation to like maybe he can find a way to 700 yards and 4 touchdowns, right? Like that would be a great season within this context. If they're not actually going to get to the point where they can throw it 25 times a game, I don't know how much more he can do.
Yeah, Scott Fish said maybe, just maybe, the routes run thing isn't as predictive as people think. Burke's still not breaking out either. Pitts, there are about a billion examples of it this year. Do you agree with Scott Fish there? The route runs?
Yeah, especially if we're talking like 2 games, 3 games, right? I don't necessarily I don't know. Targets are earned, at some point there should be some minimum baseline that players reach if they're running a route like 94% of the time, right? But
more than 5.
But it doesn't mean that Atlanta isn't going to just keep throwing to Drake London because he's damn good. It doesn't mean but especially at this point in the season, I don't think it's particularly predictive.
We know the formula. Coop, you bring it up on air all the time, and routes run is not part of it. It's first you get the snaps, then you get the targets, then you get the khakis, then you get the girls, right? Like routes run isn't in that anywhere.
Yeah, that's the
simple formula, thing, tried and true.
So I'm with Scott on this one. Yeah, it's routes, targets, khakis, and girls. Those are the stats that matter right here. Also, I see Matt in the chat saying, "Don't quit Kmet yet." He says, "Don't quit Kmet." Coop, it sounds like if you're deleting them, you're quitting Kmet. Andy, you're quitting them as well.
Well, I guess the question, like, what does a successful season look like for Cole Kmet? Like, why shouldn't I quit him?
I gotta see a real game.
Why on earth would I want Cole Kmet over Evan Ingram right now? Or I don't know. I can think of a bunch of other sketchy tight ends. Like, what is the case for Cole Kmet?
Yeah,
feels like maybe they look like a real football team just one time. Like just one game, they come out. They could double their pass attempts.
I don't remember the case for Cole Kmet originally being he is a special talent. This is an athletic specimen, even by NFL standards. If he just gets opportunities, this guy's going to blow. It's not that at all. The case for him was, wow, he had a ton of opopportunities last year and didn't do anything with it. Surely that can't happen again. Well, in fact, what can happen is he won't get any opportunities. And not do anything.
You know what scares me now is looking back at all those Jimmy Graham end zone targets, and I'm like, maybe Jimmy Graham deserved those end zone targets.
right.
That is scaring me right now. Like just looking back, I'm like, oh no. What if?
I'm also like, maybe I'm the wrong person to ask about this because I'm just an angry Bears fan right now.
No, you're the perfect person to ask. Yeah.
Like I'm the one person who's like poring over Bears statistics from the 1970s, tormenting myself with the idea that they threw more in 1977 than they throw.
He's up late under candlelight. He's like, it can't be. The number
they can't 71, 72.
Just a big.
Scott Fish answers when he's like, Andy. It's 2 a.m. Just let me go to sleep.
I bet you there's a big, your trash can's just a big pile of crumpled up graph paper. Like this can't be it. This can't be right.
Absolutely. Andy, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on here with us today, my man. Everybody watching, if you're not doing so already, make sure you go follow our friend Andy on Twitter. He's on Twitter at Andy Behrens, and you can find his work at Yahoo Fantasy. Andy, always a treat, my man. And I'm going to go try to fight someone big to assert dominance right after this.
We appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thanks for this, you guys. You guys are doing tremendous work.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one, Andy. Everybody, if you're enjoying what we're doing over here, and if you enjoyed our guest, go on over and follow Andy first on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Check out his article that we posted in the YouTube chat about early season disappointments. It's a really great article, and then you can click through all of his other work over there at Yahoo as well. And if you want some more of us, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, Front Yard Fantasy, and hit that subscribe button. JL's face is all over it, just everywhere, contemplating on everything. Oh,
I'm
God,
all
so
over
contemplative. Because right now you are listening to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
The Bull Moments.
Everybody up here at U.S. Cellular. Sox 5 runs, 6 hits. The 2-1 to Bartlett. Swing shot to short. Ramirez has it, throws. Burley picks the perfect game. His second no-hitter. People going crazy here at U.S. Cellular. He's mobbed by his teammates. A perfecto.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right up, 1 second left. What a play by Bird. Bird stole the inbounding pass. Laid it up to DJ. DJ laid it up at him. And Boston has a 1-point lead with 1 second left.
Out of the I formation on first down. Peterson to carry, looking for running room on the right side, has it to the 25, across the 30, across the 35, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Adrian Peterson has just gone over 2,000 yards for the season, the 7th man in NFL history to cross the 2,000-yard mark.
Well, a thundering ovation for number 66, Mario Lemieux.
Just the emotion I'm sure Mario is feeling in this place. You don't appreciate something until it's gone, and it's so great to have Mario back.
Yager turns around. Over to Lemieux. Mario Lemieux, his first goal in his comeback here tonight at the Mellon Arena. And the Penguins lead 3-0, and he is smiling like a butcher's dog. Mario Lemieux.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. The Bears have scored, but the bands are out on the field.
Pearson moves in front of the STP Dodge. Petty comes back to the inside. They almost touch as they move down low in the bank, and you're going to be side by side as they exit the bank and head for the finish line.
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is sliding, slamming into the wall. He's coming down toward the finish line. Will he make it? Pearson is still running. The winner is car number 21. An amazing finish. Richard Petty's car demolished in the front end, as well as car number 21. An unbelievable finish, a terrible crash. David Pearson has won the Daytona 500. Leitner catches, comes down, dribbles, shoots, scores! Christian Leitner has hit the bucket at the buzzer! Pitched by Downing, swinging, there's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
The most valuable player is Magic Johnson. 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. He starts at center, plays forward and guard, and leads the Los Angeles Lakers to a world championship 123-107 over Philadelphia.
Whether you collect sports memorabilia, fantasy championships, or winning bet slips, talk about it on Better Sports Network.
Welcome back in, everyone, to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. And I like that little music. It's a little sultry coming back in here. Coop, Scott Fish came in here and had a question directed right at you. He said, can we petition to make the Seattle tight ends one player, like the Browns tight ends last year? I mean, 9 for 105 and 1 last week, 8 for 102 and 2 in week 1.
Dude, please. That would solve a lot of our problems, dude. Colby Parkinson, get those Colby Parkinson touchdowns in there, right? Will Disley, Noah Fant. I mean, it would be cool if we could do it with the Saints too. Get the rushing touchdowns from Taysom, whatever targets Juwan Johnson gets, the random touchdown that Adam Trotman will eventually score. Like, that could be the solution to the tight end problem we're having out here.
It could be. Oh, and JL, I'm sure, is making a really great point right now.
A little Hunter Henry, Jonnu.
Why
combo?
stop at tight end is what I'm saying. Why not combine Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers? You know, like all of these. There's a bunch of these situations I want to use this little magic combining gun for.
Right, but there's more running backs that you're happy to start than tight ends, right? Like this might, like I kind of like this for tight end.
Simon.
What? No, I'm just saying from a solution. So, like, you're solving a problem that doesn't exist with the running backs, JL. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Say that to the Cam Akers managers.
Well, then they should have drafted Saquon Barkley. Then they
that's what I was trying to tell them.
They should have just drafted. They should have just drafted. You know, the tight end manager should have just drafted Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more guys in that tier on the running back side than on the tight end side.
You got to start a lot more guys on the running back side and the tight end.
Getting a little testy. Last 5 minutes of the show. Let's just fight.
I know.
Let's just yell at each other. And establish our dominance.
Jail, I feel like you've been trying to push me. You've been trying to see if you can get me over that line, but I'm not doing it.
I want to get that bad boy out.
No,
I want to bring that big dog out.
The bad boy is staying in, JL. I worked hard to bury him. I worked hard to bury him. My girlfriend's probably sitting in the other room. She's not at work yet today, wondering why I'm sitting in my office screaming, "The bad boy is staying in, JL. He's not coming out to play." No, it was just football. We were just
not putting on your bad boy pants just yet
on the radio. No problems over there. No, it would be fun though to draft like team tight end. Coop, could you see that working? Like instead of a tight end position, you draft team tight ends and you get like the Chiefs tight end points.
It's just hate team anything.
It's crazy. That would solve the Andrews versus Kelsey debate because you sprinkle a little Isaiah Likely on there. Actually, I don't know because the Chiefs tight ends every once in a while, Jody Fortson and Noah Gray, they can stick some touchdowns in too. Yeah, Jody Fiveson. That's the day he becomes Jody Fiveson.
It just makes it too easy. It takes out the strategy. Like, yeah, it sucks playing tight ends. That's part of the game. Doing it well means you're playing the game well, right?
The only thing I disagree with is, I mean, I guess if you're in a 14 or 16 man league, you can combine wide receiver and tight end or whatever, but just keep the tight end spot. It's fun. It makes the game more interesting.
7 tight end spots. That's what Coop wants.
Keeps me employed. Yeah.
Yeah, Coop is going to be fighting for tight ends because it keeps him happy. Guys, everybody who tuned in this morning, hung out with us, listened to all of this, thank you so much. We are going to be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time, as always, talking about this Thursday night football game that's about to happen between the Bengals and the Dolphins. Until then, though, we are out of here, everyone. Coop, JL, any final words of wisdom?
Animal butt.
Yes. That's going to be it for us today, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Until then, adios, everyone.